at 6.
All righty, have a great day.
Welcome to a new era of Evan and Tiki featuring Sean Morash. Did I get that right? We're all good?
I guess.
Was your name mentioned? We're good with that?
Yeah, I prefer the with, not featuring, but we'll go with that.
Oh, I just heard Gio say that. I thought he knew the official name of it.
Featuring makes it churches it up for you, Sean.
Yeah.
I don't do church.
With Sean Morash. We got a busy show today. The great Joe Beningo will join us at 12 noon. We've got new names into the Giants head coaching search. A lot to talk about. Congratulations to the Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers. I want to make this very, very clear as a Jet fan.
Wow, you're not hating on Aaron Rodgers?
I'm not hating on Aaron Rodgers because there are many things we will say over the next few hours about Aaron Glenn. There are many callers who will call up today and say many things about Aaron Glenn's failed first year as head coach of the New York Jets, and I'm here for it.
You mean 136 negative point outs differential over the last 5 games?
Yes, thank you, Tiki.
That thing?
Yes, the 0 interceptions over 17 games, first team in NFL history.
Can never be beat, can only be tied.
I am fully aware of what kind of disaster this season was. Aaron Rodgers going to Pittsburgh, winning 10 games, and making the playoffs is not a part of that disaster. Like, I know we were all debating this 9 months ago about bringing Rodgers back versus not bringing Rodgers back. And while I didn't like the bedside manner of Aaron Glenn in his approach, I cannot look at what happened last night, and that was an insane game that was drunk as hell. I cannot look at the result of last night and the result of Aaron Rodgers and say, see, if they would have kept him, everything would have been different. I got news for you. If they would have kept him, you're right, everything would have been different. And it actually would have been worse because they wouldn't have won a lot of games. They would not have traded Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. And they would have ended up with, sure, more victories, but how many more victories, and where would the future be?
Yeah, but it would have felt so much different than it felt at the end of this year. These last 5 games for the Jets have been abysmal.
Yes.
It is almost as if, you remember 2 years ago when we were watching the Giants, they were all beat up. Dabes was trying to figure out, who's playing. This is a guy off the practice squad. We just picked this dude up off the street, and it was non-professional football.
Yes.
I remember coming in and saying, this is not a professional football team. This is a team that maybe could win at the highest levels of college football. That's what the Jets, defensively at least, really offensively as well, because Brady Cook has been nothing but inept and inefficient. I mean, what was he right before halftime? It was 1 of 6 for 2 yards.
Dude, he was as inaccurate as you'll ever see. He's not an NFL quarterback.
Exactly, and it's not professional football.
Right.
And so when you watch games like that, you obviously are saying the talent's not there, but you can't help, and it's not Aaron Glenn's fault, but say, man, this guy just can't coach. It's not his fault, but you say he just can't coach.
Well, hold on. If that's how you feel about him, then I assume you're one of the many voices who are going to come on the radio today and say that Woody Johnson should fire him. And he should be one and done.
I don't,
because I know a lot of Jet fans feel that way.
I don't trust the one and done decision unless, as we talked about last week, there is the ready-made answer.
Right.
Up Jared Mayo, up in New England, the ready-made answer after he was one and done. You bring in Mike Vrabel, you have nothing. The Jets can't do that. If they fired Aaron Glenn, what are they doing?
Well, and that is...
It's not a desirable job. I mean, we'll talk about this later. The Giants have a really desirable job for whoever is going to be the next head coach.
Yeah.
The Jets do not. So I can't advocate firing because it makes the situation worse.
Well, it's a part of why I've been deathly afraid of it. Like, here's what's so complicated as a Jet fan, because I've had many discussions over the last 24 hours with a variety of Jet fans on the state of this franchise, and it's a bad state. I mean, you laid out some of the numbers. The point differential over these 5 weeks, the inability to force an interception, the non-competitive nature of the team, the fact that it looked like the roster quit yesterday. Like, trust me, I get all of it. I sat there and watched every second of it, and it's disgusting.
Right.
But I am deathly afraid of taking a head coach after 1 year and getting rid of him. I am. And I understand that you can give me countless examples of, and you just brought it up, what happened in New England or what happened in Denver. But I don't think there is that ready-made answer sitting there. And while I'm not telling you no one would take the job, because obviously it's an NFL head coaching job. There's
somebody
only 30,
will want it.
But are you really going to get the brightest and the best?
Right, well, somebody will want $4 million a year. Can you give me a 5-year, $40 million or $20 million deal? Sure, I'll take that. But will it be successful? That's the thing you don't. This roster's not good enough for whoever is the coach next year to say we're going to win 11 games and get to the postseason. Right? It's just unrealistic. Who's the quarterback? Who's your star defensive back? Right? Who is your other wide receiver?
No, they're bereft of talent.
They don't. Are you signing Breece Hall? Like all of these things, there's so many questions around this team.
I would rather make the bet, and this is the gamble I make as a sports fan, I would rather make the bet that this was a bad first year and he's going to figure it out than the bet of one and done, and let's try another rookie head coach and see if they can figure it out.
Unless it's a veteran, because it seems like there's a couple of veterans that are going to be free.
Well, look, if you're telling me today that Mike Tomlin, after the Steelers get annihilated next week against the Houston Texans, is going to be available and want the Jet job, of course. I'm not arguing that. Or John Harbaugh gets jettisoned today. Would I not? Of course. I just think that right now the Jets, they're the worst franchise in sports. I've said this before. That is not hyperbole. That's not me saying feel bad for me. I'm a Jet fan. No, they are the worst franchise in sports. And I root for the Brooklyn Nets. I know about bad franchises.
Right. So, but you were saying that the Aaron Rodgers situation would have made it better? Would have made it worse?
Here's the thing.
What would it have been?
Here's what it would have been.
Because the defense, well, I don't know.
No, the defense sucked, Tiki.
Right.
Before they ever traded.
Even with trading.
Look at the first 3 weeks of the season.
Right.
And I get Rodgers played in one of those, which in this alternate history, someone else was quarterbacking the Steelers. The defense was atrocious. Look, in the alternate universe where
they gave up 30-plus points at every single game.
In the alternate universe where my man Joe B gets his way and Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, and a lot of Jet fans get their way, and Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. How many wins do they have? Probably 5 or 6. Do they trade Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams? No way. You think they're telling the 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers, we're going to break this team apart? No way. And so at least today, as we sit here on January 5th, Black Monday, the end of the football season, and thank God it's over. It drove me nuts. There is that little bit of hope. The number 2 overall pick. All the draft picks that they acquired in making those trades.
And by the way, now you don't have to trade.
Right.
You don't have to get rid of all those draft picks. Now, it kind of sucks because you're going to sit there and take whichever quarterback the Raiders don't take.
Assuming there is one worthy of taking.
Or assuming that there's at least 2 coming out.
Right, but think about the alternate universe that I think some Jet fans or some in the media wanted to make LOL Jets last night because that's who we are. Everything's a joke at the Jets. Oh, look at Aaron Rodgers. Boy, Aaron Glenn's an idiot. Really? In the alternate universe where Aaron Rodgers is the starting quarterback, that's what ends up happening, what I just described. You win 5 or 6 games. Sure, it's more entertaining. Sure, me and Spence go to a few more Jet games thinking we got a shot.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we win nothing. We have a worse draft pick, and we don't even add the draft capital that they added before the trade deadline in dealing Sauce and Quinnen. So trust me, it is a short list of positives that Aaron Glenn provided the Jets in year 1. But one of the negatives to me is not jettisoning Aaron Rodgers. It's not. It's not as if everything would have played out so much better.
No, I don't. I think you're ultimately right because when you look at where the Steelers are, because that's who you started with, they beat the Baltimore Ravens only because of some ineptitude by the Baltimore Ravens. They just were ineffective and inefficient.
I hate rookies, Tiki.
And I hate rookies.
Especially kickers.
You got a rookie kicker. You got to trust him in a clutch, critical moment, and he misses. Lamar Jackson's over there celebrating, throwing his hands up like he's going to the playoffs, and next thing you know, he's pouting and saying his great seasons to everybody else. The Ravens kind of gave the game away. Why not let Lamar Jackson just go be Lamar Jackson and try to score? Don't settle just for the field goal.
Dude,
with a rookie
taking the
kicker.
kneel before the kick was abysmal. Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yep.
And so if whatever happens with the Steelers, they're going to finish this season and Aaron Rodgers is going to be retired, make a decision. They're going to be starting over. And so if the Jets had kept Aaron Rodgers, you were going to face the same decision.
Well, and also
same situation.
But it also wasn't going to be finishing with 10 wins. Like, they have Mike Tomlin and a much better roster. It's not as if the quarterback play was going to be the difference between the Jets finishing this season with 3 wins and 10 wins.
Yeah.
You want to tell me it was the difference between 3 wins and 6 wins? Fine. But think about the purgatory the Jets would have been in if they made the decision to keep Aaron Rodgers. Because keep this in mind. Yes, it would have been better, and yes, it would have been more entertaining from a wins and loss standpoint. If you have a 42-year-old future Hall of Fame quarterback on your roster, what are your expectations? They're to win.
Yeah, to win.
They're not to.
And by the way, he wants to win.
Of course. They're not to, well, we were better. We won 5 games. Like, trust me, Aaron Glenn has done a lot of bad in year 1. The decision to jettison Aaron Rodgers isn't one of them. Now, the problem I ran into, and I ran into it Friday we were on the air, and it became even worse on Sunday watching that disgrace against the Buffalo Bills. And it was a disgrace. It was embarrassing, the amount of missed tackles, the lack of effort. How about the delay of game on offense early in this game? I mean, they played like a stupid football team.
Right.
And when you play like a stupid football team,
That's coaching.
it's coaching. So I don't have a long list of good things Aaron Glenn did. He had an abysmal first year, and statistically, and you laid out a few of those things, it warrants, based on performance, one and done.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it's best for the health of this organization, especially when in the middle of the year, they traded their 2 best defensive players.
Right, but they were bad anyways. I mean, they were giving up 31 or 2 points a game the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season.
I know, but we're judging the last 5 weeks with a big lens. Keep in mind, think about what happened to the roster, and I'll use your words against you. Not against you, because you agree with me, but you were adamant against Sean and Loogie back then about trading Saquon and what it would do to the locker room.
Right.
Well, ask yourself, what did it do to the locker room when they traded Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner? It couldn't have been good, despite the early results.
Yeah, you just realize that guys who get paid doesn't mean anything, because those guys were paid, right? They signed second contracts. In fact, Sauce did it right before the season.
Right.
They committed to him long term and then said, all right, you're not worth it. See you later. And so that it disincentivizes you to be dialed in to your team, because you don't know what that means for you. Right? If they did that to a guy that they loved and paid, what the hell are they going to do to me?
No, I get you.
And so it creates this psyche that's hard to play through in a lot of ways. Like, you almost feel like it's over for me as well, even if it's not. And you don't know where you stand. I think that's one of the hardest things that a coach has to do, is put guys in positions to understand where they stand exactly. What do I need to do? Who am I to you? What's my future? And if you can't answer that, then guys are starting to look for what's my other option.
Right.
It's just a natural thing to do. That's in any profession, in any walk of life. If you don't have certainty, you have no desire to be great at what you're doing.
And you know what this roster knew? This roster knew the same thing I know, and every single person watching these games knew. They're not going to be here next year. 80% of this roster is going to look different.
Right.
Whether it's using the cap space that they have, which they better use smartly, whether it's using all the draft capital they have, this is going to be a completely different roster. And there's one other thing that I do want to address, because it pisses me off, and I know a lot of fan bases in this town can understand this. For a long time, anything the Knicks did would be mocked. It's LOL Knicks. Anything the Mets did would be mocked. It's LOL Mets. I've heard Sean and UT talk about the discussion around the Giants has almost felt LOL-like.
Right.
No matter what they do,
Right.
they're wrong. There's a lot of noise going on at the end of this football season. And you can mark my words about this. If Woody Johnson has a change of heart and fires Aaron Glenn after 1 year, the same national and local media that say Glenn's got to be fired would destroy this owner for being so
short-sighted, quick-triggered.
Yes! I was looking for a word.
I got you.
Petulant or something like
Right,
that.
whatever it is.
To fire a guy after 1 year when in the midst of the 1 year, they traded their 2 best defensive players. If they fired Aaron Glenn today, as much as many Jet fans would celebrate it, you can mark my words, the same people calling the Jets dysfunctional would double down. Well, they're dysfunctional. I mean, this team was rebuilding. They were tanking, and they got rid of the coach after 1 year. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear the holier-than-thou talk about, the Jets are... No, because here's why it matters, Sean, because that's what I'm hearing right now about Woody Johnson. He's dysfunctional. He's dysfunctional because he's actually going to let the coach and GM he hired try to do their job for more than 365 days? Is that really dysfunctional?
Only to fire him 8 games into the season next year? How about forget what dysfunction looks like? Do what's right for the best interest and the future of this team.
Yeah, but the only way that makes sense, is if there is a viable next guy. And who is that? Certainty. I think Robert Kraft had certainty.
Yes.
that Mike Vrabel would say, absolutely yes.
You nailed it. If you're telling me there's a guy, and name the guy you want. You want it to be Mike Tomlin or John Harbaugh, the same guys we're dreaming about with the Giants? If there is a veteran adult who is going to gladly come in here and say, I want the Jet job, then it's a completely different discussion. But you know as well as I do that that's not the case.
You don't think Mike McCarthy's taking this job if he's offered it tomorrow?
I don't know.
What happened the last time? Because wasn't he in the running?
Yes. That's why I bring him up.
And so what happened? Did he say no, or did the Jets say no?
He interviewed for the job, and it was never offered to him. It's as simple as that.
So the question is now, does he hold a grudge because of that? I doubt it, because he doesn't seem like that kind of vindictive man. But you never know.
I also think he's going to have better opportunities.
Yeah.
I think, look, sometimes the easiest thing to do, and I apologize, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a Nets analogy, but it works so perfectly. It was so easy for you, Tiki, and everyone else around here to say, you have to blow up the KD Kyrie experiment. And you got what you wanted, and then what happened? You had no plan for what happens next.
By the way, I didn't say that.
Okay. Well,
I didn't mind the KD Kyrie experience.
Thank you. But the great Colin Powell, and his words can certainly be used with the news in the world going on lately, had this comment about Iraq. If you break it, you own it. Okay? Well, you want to break it by saying get rid of the coach. Now own it. How are you replacing him?
That's a good thing there's a lot of oil underground.
Similar to Iraq, by the way. It all comes full circle. So what's the plan next?
Yeah.
You get your blood because the Jets had a historically bad season. Then what? I'm telling you what the then what is. Yeah. You're going to hire another first-time head coach.
Right, but the challenge is you then go into next season. If you don't move on, you don't make significant change, then you go into next season, and it's based on hope. It's not based on anything tangible. It's not based on, well, I saw this in year one. Save for the special teams. They were amazing.
Chris Banjo, salute.
Chris Banjo, exactly.
Maybe Banjo should be the head coach.
Respect Banjo. But you can't go into next season and have any kind of certainty that anything. So the defense isn't going to be in your mind very good. The offense, do you even have a quarterback? And if you draft one of these kids in the first round with the second pick, whether it's Mendoza or whether it's Dante Moore, they're rookies, right? You're not going to have any certainty there.
Rookies suck.
You're not going to know if your head coach can actually get it done.
Right.
Because he hasn't done it. So next year is all about hope.
Well, that's a great question, because when we come back, we'll hear from the head coach of the New York Jets, Aaron Glenn, because he was asked a very pointed question yesterday, which is, why should Jet fans believe in you? Be curious to hear what he had to say. Plus, we'll get to your calls at 888-808-1019. Joe B coming up at noon. The debut of Cinco de Lancho coming up around lunchtime. Let's say 12:30. Sean will unveil his controversial list, whatever that is, coming up at 12:30, and plenty of Giants talk as well. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Hey, this is Tiki Barber. Those of us living in New Jersey got hit with a 20% electric rate increase. If your current heating system is over 15 years old, it's time for a new high-efficiency Carrier system. And there's only one company to call for a new one. My friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts for over 38 years. Older heating systems waste gas. So get your system checked now and save money with Edison Heating and Cooling. Contact them now at edisonhvac.com. That's edisonhvac.com.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on the team to win and they take a 17
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
Kohl's new clearance markdowns are intense. Up to 70% off is the kind of deal that'll leave you feeling stunned and make you whisper things like, "Where have you been my whole life?" to a cardigan. Just take a deep breath, steady your cart, and try to act normal. But it's not possible. The savings are just too good. Shop new clearance markdowns now in-store and online at Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates. It's not easy being an accident victim these days. I mean, how do you choose the right lawyer? The radio, TV, buses, and billboards are filled with law firms making the same old promises, bragging about the same big results. They talk about their proven track record and hope they'll get you to sign on the dotted line. But then what? If a lawyer tells you from day one what your case is worth, please turn around and run. If a lawyer tells you how quickly they'll get your case settled, I beg you, turn around and run. The right lawyer is not a fortune teller. The right lawyer is honest, straightforward, and knows every case is different. He or she will have the experience to get you every dollar you deserve at the right time. So if you want to know your rights and you want to be told the truth, call D'Agostino & Associates today at 888-24-LAW-24. That's 888-24-LAW-24 and ask for me, John D'Agostino, because I've been there and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino Law. Bite back.
FanDuel's giving all customers a profit boost every college playoff game day. That means more chances to level up your picks and turn big moments into bigger wins. Ride with the favorite, take a shot on the underdog, or build a parlay. Then apply your profit boost and go for bigger winnings. FanDuel's the best place to get into the football action all playoff long. And when you win, you'll get paid instantly. So visit FanDuel.com/New York to get your college playoff profit boost today. That's FanDuel.com/New York. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure and has all the bet markets you want. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Guys, if you want the greatest night of your life, I mean your best night ever, then you gotta hear this. There's a new ED pill out, and it's from the makers of Viagra. It's their first new ED pill in over 20 years. This new super pill is called Viagra AGV, and it's unbelievable. It works super fast in only 11 minutes and lasts up to 14 hours thanks to its new vasodynamic delivery system. Plus, it's FDA approved and safe. There has never been any ED pill like it. It's unreal what it does to you. In testing, Viagra AGV crushed every other ED pill. It destroyed them all. And now, 9 out of 10 urologists are recommending Viagra AGV over any other ED pill. Every man alive needs to try this new Viagra AGV super pill at least once. Then you'll know why men are going crazy over it. So if you want to have the most incredible night of your life, you can't miss this. Go to scoreblue.com and try it while supplies last. That's scoreblue.com.
Everybody knows Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, beating all the local competitors with our guaranteed lowest prices. And now, with over 120 stores throughout New England, we beat all the competition, including the warehouse clubs, the online sites, and the local dealers. Yes, we beat them all with the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Talk sports hands-free. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Evan and Tiki here on the Fan. Earlier start time, but it's us. It's just, Tiki Barber, Evan Roberts, hanging out with you. Doing our thing on a Black Monday. A Monday where, mercifully, the New York Jets season is over. The New York Giants season is over. We don't have to speculate about tanking and where draft picks will be. And we have some breaking news, which will cause us to no longer speculate about the Giant GM job.
Yeah, the Fan Focus is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. This, according to Ryan Dunleavy and Jordan Ronan. Joe Schoen is officially being retained by the Giants as the general manager. Giants 4-13 this season, 22-55-1 with Joe Schoen as the general manager of the Giants, but he is back. Again, this Fan Focus brought to you by Chef IQ.
That's a good thing, by the way.
It's a good thing?
I know people are upset about this, but it's a good thing.
Why is it a good thing?
Because you need some level of continuity with with all the changes that are about to start happening.
Yeah.
Now, if a year from now or I don't know, even 8 months from now, it's a different conversation because of who they hire as the head coach, that's fine. But you have to present that there is stability here. So when you come in as the, prospective head coach, it's not like everybody's packing up their bags and leaving the building.
Right.
That's when it gets really ugly, and it doesn't present a united front from an organizational standpoint. Head coaches need to see stability, and you can sell that with Joe Schoen. You can sell it with his last 2 draft classes. You can sell it with the fact that the O-line has gotten better and that you have your quarterback, presumably, of the future. He's still got growth. You got some pieces to build upon. Tyrone Tracy had another 1,000-yard all-purpose season, which was fantastic, and really only the third-person Giant in history to do it twice in their first 2 years.
And that doesn't include you.
It doesn't include. I didn't do jack until 4 years in. It's Saquon Barkley and Odell Beckham Jr. And so he joined a pretty exclusive company. So, I mean, that's not, and then Cam Scatterbo and then Brian Burns and Abdul Carr. Like, there are some pieces here that are interesting, but you have to have some sort of solid base to go forward with, and I think Joe Schoen is part of that.
Now, before we get to your phone calls at 888-808-1019, yesterday after the Jets' embarrassing loss, Aaron Glenn was asked a lot of questions. He also died on the sword and took a lot of blame for this failed season. But Brian Costello loaded up with a very innocent but fair question, which is, why should Jet fans believe in you? Why should they have confidence that you're the guy to turn it around? Here was Aaron Glenn's answer.
It got to be trust. It got to be faith. It does. And the thing is, like I said before, I've been here, done that. And I just know myself. Hopefully the fans know that. And I understand this season was not the way that everybody wanted it to go. And I get that. But, again, just don't let go of the rope. And just trust me. And I know it's hard to say. Just trust me and have faith in what we're doing.
Listen,
that's what I just said.
Yeah,
hope and faith, man.
That is not a strategy. I mean, I guess it is if you're running for president in 2000. But that's what, when someone on social media with an egg picture says, hey, I'm reporting to you that, the Yankees are about to acquire so-and-so, and you say, who are your sources? The joke answer is, trust me, bro. That's just trust me, bro. That answer by Coach Glenn was a trust me, bro answer.
Right.
He couldn't point to anything other than I've done it before. Well, no, you haven't done it before. You've been a coordinator before.
Right.
You've never done this before.
Yeah.
You're not a head coach that turns a franchise
been a
around.
Part of an organization that has done this before, but you haven't been responsible for that. You've been a part of it, but not the one in charge of it. And that's a different responsibility when you're in charge. I mean, faith is great. But that's also believing in something that you can't see.
Right.
Or have no evidence of, but you trust it because someone says it.
And that's what he told us. And this is tough for me because I'm the same guy who's saying, look, I don't want to fire the guy after 1 year, but I also want to call it like it is. When he was asked why we should believe in him, his answer, if I'm going to paraphrase it, is, trust me, bro. That was his answer.
Right.
Just trust me, bro. I got this. We'll figure it out. Let's get to your calls, 888-808-1019, the number. Let us kick it off with Eric in Rivervale. What's up, Eric?
Hey, Tiki, what's going on, boys?
All's good, Eric.
It's going to take some getting used to in the new spot, but happy to hear you guys here in the new spot and wishing you all the best.
Appreciate you. Thanks for hopping on.
Jets, absolutely, guys. So the Jets, man, I completely agree with where you're at. I mean, I understand all the reasons to fire Glenn.
Yeah.
But I don't like any of the alternatives. And so let's move on from there. What is the solution? And obviously the Jets' biggest question mark is quarterback. And I am all over the place with what they are going to do, should do, what Muji's going to do. I mean, Muji has the opportunity to literally redefine this organization for the better part of the next decade.
Right.
And is the question, the question is, what do we do at quarterback? There's a lot of different avenues. I hear all the talk on Malik Willis, or is it Mac Jones as far as a bridge quarterback? I hate that idea. Is it Dante Moore? Does he come out? I think that's probably the way I would want to go as a fan, just because I don't want another season of rebuilding. Like, Glenn's not going anywhere. So now the question is, the biggest hole for the Jets is quarterback.
Oh, no doubt.
And obviously a defense that's absolutely abysmal, but that's something he'll have to address. But the quarterback is the big question. So as a Jets fan, I was really curious. What do you want? I mean, obviously Burrow's another one. I don't know if he's retiring.
I'll tell you what I want. I'll tell you what I want. And I want to give credit to two people who didn't even talk to each other about this. but they said something at the exact same time, and I decided to put it together into a sandwich. Greg Giannotti, who does mornings, good to see him. I haven't seen him in like 5 months. And Tiki Barber, who now works with me at 10 a.m.
Yes.
Tiki Barber was going on about what Tom Brady and the Raiders could do and should do. He said, they could hire Brian Flores, which is a new rumor, bring Brian Daboll.
By the way, that's because I want my prediction to come true that we made at last week.
That Brian Daboll's on the staff of a Super Bowl team?
There it is.
So you want him going to the Raiders?
Yes, and you know who bringing your DC?
Oh, yeah, Raheem Morris.
Raheem Morris, who just got fired by the Falcons.
So Tiki's sitting with me in the office, and he's building this Dream Raider coaching staff. And I'm like, wow, this is really interesting. Simultaneously, I'm listening to our guys in the morning, and Gio's like, hey, do you think there's any way Tom Brady calls Peyton Manning and says, hey, Peyton, I got these big plans?
Do they like each other?
Yeah, they're like friendly rivals.
Yeah,
I think they're friendly rivals.
Okay.
They're like frenemies. And says, hey, can you convince Arch to come out? Like, this is going to be a perfect spot for him. And so I'm hearing Gio say that, and I'm hearing you talk about the dream coaching staff, and I'm like, yes! Can you get Arch to come out, get drafted by the Raiders, and then we take our chances with the big geek, Fernando Mendoza? That would be what I would want.
That would work for you.
Yeah.
I mean, but it would be awesome for the Raiders.
It would be.
They might have to get a reality television show around that. I'm serious. Tom Brady, both the Mannings will be over there involved in some way. I'm talking about Peyton and Eli. Arch is there. You got Dave's there. You got Raheem Morris, all these recently fired head coaches, and a controversial now head coach in Brian Flores. Only controversial because he's suing the league still.
Yeah,
and
just that.
And it's the Raiders in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
What the hell could go wrong?
Nothing.
That actually sounds awesome.
And it would lead to us getting the guy that my naive eyes tells me is the guy with the best chance to be a star in this league.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't happen, and it's not, my gut feeling is to let this process play out, but I would like a quarterback in the first 2 rounds that I can at least evaluate.
First 2 rounds?
Yeah, well, one of them in the first 2 rounds. Like, my point is I'm learning from you. I learned from you, Dad. The New York Giants last year kind of perfected it, right? You drafted the best available player at 3 in Abdul Carter, who, by the way, finished the season incredibly strong.
Right, finished second on the team in sacks.
And then you got your rookie quarterback later in the first round. Well, unlike the Giants, I don't have to trade up. I'm picking 16. So the idea would be...
That's the Colts, right?
That would be the Indy pick, yes. The Sauce Gardner trade is that maybe I can eat my cake and have it too, as the idiom says.
No. Have my cake and eat it too.
I thought I said it right.
You said it the other way. How are you going to eat the cake before you have it, bro?
That's true. The cake and the eating, and I'm fat.
But you're already thrown off. We got news about a half an hour ago. Trinidad Chambliss doing a waiver to go back to Ole Miss for 1 more year.
That's a disappointment. I was impressed by that kid.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure if he would have been...
It makes sense because he only started 1 season at Ole Miss.
Yeah, I get you. And also, because we're so impressed and we're saying on the radio, oh, boy, he could be a first or second round pick, doesn't mean after evaluations that would actually happen.
That's a good point.
Especially because of his lack of experience.
Right.
But I think to answer his question in a long-winded way, we got to see who declares. Like, is Dante Moore going into the draft? We don't even know that yet.
Right. I mean, I would guess that if Oregon doesn't win and they still have this really good core of players, why not go back and try it again?
Because you will probably get picked number 2 in the NFL draft, and there's no guarantee that'll happen a year from now. So
it's almost certain it won't happen.
So if it's certain it's not going to happen, I think the easy answer would be because your draft stock is better today than it'll probably be next year.
Right, and you make more money when you get drafted higher.
Yeah. Correct.
Does have that Nike NIL money, though.
But it's still...
That's true. I forgot Oregon and Nike are tied together.
But keep this in mind, and this is where I think everyone's missing out. That's temporary money. That's for a year.
I agree.
Eventually, the goal is to be in the NFL. And if your best chance at being picked high comes now, why risk that? You could also get hurt. You could have a bad year. Like, there's a lot of negatives that come along with it, which is why, as I sit here today, just a prediction using logic, I would assume he comes out.
Yeah.
I'd assume it, but we'll see.
And there's also another potential veteran option we found out just a little while ago. Russell Wilson apparently tore his hamstring before the Dallas game. It played those 2 games through that.
What is that? What?
Yeah, Russell Wilson has met the media at Clean Out the Locker Day, and he, grade 2, tore his hamstring the Friday before the Dallas game, and that kind of led to why he was benched after the Chief game.
That's interesting. What does that have to do?
That's what Russell Wilson is telling the world today.
Come on, why is that relevant now?
because he's trying to get his stock up this offseason.
Oh, so that's why you brought him up in comparison to the Jets?
Well, because he's going to be a veteran. He's going to be a veteran quarterback available if you don't draft one.
Yeah,
and he's already painting the picture of what went wrong.
I was hurt last year, and that's the reason why. Even though I lost a job in camp, but Dave just gave it to me anyway.
Yeah, thank you for that, Sean. But I'll pass on that one. Let's go to Scott in East Brunswick. What's up, Scott?
What's up, fellas? Welcome back to the time slot for both of you.
Thank you, brother.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well.
Thank you, man. What's up?
Guys, I'm going to go with 3 real quick points about the Jets. Evan, I'm with you on everything. I'm also going to bring up something you brought up without Tiki last week. First, guys, you have to keep Aaron Glenn. It's 15 years since Evan and Joe were coming back from Pittsburgh with nothing. I say it every time I call, guys. And Tiki, I agree with you. Hope isn't a strategy. I hear it. I agree. But there's been no hope for 15 years.
Right.
This was not a quick rebuild. This was rot from the highest levels at ownership. This wasn't a one-time deal. Let's be realistic. Aaron Glenn had a horrible year. Special teams improved. I'm going to take that because it's been a long time. But can I tell you something? Same thing his mentor, Bill Parcells, faced in 1983. They could have got rid of him for Howard Schnellenberger. But you said it, guys. Who's going to take this job? No one wanted this job last year, and now you don't have Aaron. You don't have Sauce, and they traded their guys. Point 2. Evan, you're totally right. And Tiki, I disagree with you on this.
Go ahead.
They had to get Aaron Rodgers, get rid of him. What would they have won 6 games this year? All about Aaron Rodgers, the culture, the rot, the clown show that we've saw? I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, it was a distraction.
3.
I didn't necessarily disagree with Evan on that. I just felt like you knew you didn't have a quarterback this year. So, and you were going to have to move on from whoever the quarterback was, and you knew this after 3 weeks. That might as well have been Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, here's why. Looking at what ended up happening, which I think we have now all in favor of, when the season began, did any of us think the New York Jets would blow it up midseason? Did any of us think that?
No, but I think I did believe that the Justin Fields experiment was not going to work.
Agree with you, and it didn't work. To me, it was worth the gamble, but that's neither here nor there. Did you ever see a scenario where they were going to trade Sauce and Quinnen and get back nearly the package they got back?
No, not even.
The answer is no, right?
No
Even
chance.
Sean, you're
they literally signed him before the season started.
I get it.
With Sauce, not Quinnen. But Sauce, they just signed him.
I agree. I was stunned by it. Would you agree, as negative as you may have been about the Jets' success this year, did you ever think of a scenario where they were going to take those 2 players and trade them away?
No, and never in a million years would I have pictured Sauce getting that kind of package back.
Right. Well, that's even besides the point. It turned out to be a very, very extensive package. If Aaron Rodgers was here, even if the results were the same, I don't know if they ever would have done that. I don't know if that happens. And
right. So the positioning that you now sit at with 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years justifies moving on from Aaron Rodgers.
Well, here's what it does.
Because it ultimately led, it was the first domino to fall that led to, all right, we're not tanking, but let's call it that. We're tanking the season. We're going to get rid of our best defensive players and let them go play. By the way, Quinnen's been fantastic in Dallas.
Right.
Sauce not so much in Indianapolis.
Doesn't play, got hurt.
Got hurt, but doesn't matter. I mean, it got you back a return that lets you repopulate with some really high draft picks.
Well, and also, think about it this way, and this is really where it hit me. So over the weekend, even before they got blown out by Buffalo, I started pondering, is this the worst season in Jet history? Is this the saddest place I've ever been as a Jet fan? Because I even think last week I made that comment, like, this is the most hopeless place I've been as a Jet fan. I wanted to give that more thought. And the answer is no, because of the draft capital that they have.
Right.
Like, despite having no confidence in Aaron Glenn, despite having no confidence in the owner, despite all of that, despite the roster being barren, they've got 4 picks in the first 43. They've got as much cap room as any team in the NFL. Now, I'm not going to preach you pixie dust and, flowers and rainbows.
You're on your own with that one.
I don't know that idiom.
That this season's going to be amazing next year, but at least I go into the offseason with hope, right?
Yeah.
And not just because Aaron Glenn told me, but because I have those draft picks and cap space. If they didn't make the decision about Rodgers, they don't have that.
It's true. And so, but you also now are stuck in a spot where you also kind of don't have faith in the head coach.
I don't have faith in the head coach.
Right.
I honestly don't. Like, the only reason I'm even saying here that I bring him back is just because I think that getting rid of a coach after 1 year and leaving yourself even more dysfunctional than it is now is a worse place than the bad spot they're in right now at head coach, if that makes any sense. Let's go out to Avi in Los Angeles. What's up, Avi?
Hey, fellas.
What's up,
Look,
man?
First, a quick congratulations comment with a different take on it, I hope. And then I need your help with an L.A., New York thing, okay?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, here we go. So, first of all, congratulations. I'm blessed to be a working artist, so I know that, the numbers don't lie, et cetera, et cetera. So here's a really positive opportunity and spin for you guys. First of all, you guys went right to it. Like, you went right to the sports today with no shtick. Big up to you guys. I mean, that's what's so excellent about you. So at 10 a.m., guys, New Yorkers' sports highs, they're still gleefully feeling their sports highs, and we're lamenting our sports demise.
Right.
So it's fresher. It's you can hit unbroached subjects, and you're just going to do your thing, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, Avi.
Well, we appreciate it.
Absolutely. So
I very much enjoyed getting up at 6 a.m., hitting no traffic, hanging out, and knowing my day's over at 2 o'clock.
Hey, Evan, one thing I know about you, man,
yes.
You're a competitor, bro, so that's no thing to you. You're going to do your thing. Look, guys, I've been in L.A. for 20 years, okay? I got New York ink all over my body, Sports Ink, all right? My handle, I got a sizable social media following. I'm blessed to have that.
Nice.
My handle's a giant 1156 because I'm true to this. Anyway, I've been in LA 20 years. I take a lot of burn.
Yeah.
Let's face it. LA has been kicking our rear ends in total championships in the big three sports since 1970, the advent of the modern sports era. Okay?
Yeah.
So all right. So here's my pushback. All right. I've been challenged. I'm wanting to identify. All right. L.A. versus New York. 3 iconic championship moments, plays, and game performance.
Wow.
So
First of all, let me give you credit, Avi. I have been known to have a quick hook, and somehow you were able to finagle it to where I didn't hook you for like 2 minutes. So I don't know what the strategy was, but it somehow worked.
That's great. It's good for him because he's been blocked on my end. So.
Oh, come on. That's not nice.
Can't be giving out your Twitter handle. You're done. See you later.
Twitter? I can't. I mean, I don't look on Twitter.
Have you checked his Twitter handle?
I tried to find him on Instagram. It's not there. So.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
Come on, do it. You got to do it.
I found it. And you know what his first 5 tweets are about?
What?
How much he loves listening to Sean Morash on Talking Giants.
Good for him, man. Thank you. Appreciate your listenership. Not following you. That was ridiculous what you did.
Wow.
Because of the Twitter handle?
Evan, you got to understand, this is an important time. This is the first hour of our show in this time slot. You got to set some ground rules. We love the listeners. The listeners we want to love us. You can't just be calling in and getting your Twitter handle.
Whose fault that is?
Whose?
Yours.
Because I let him on?
Who answered the phone?
Tiki, 100% right. And that is why now he has a nice red blemish on his mark. See you later.
See, one of the changes with us doing these new hours is that Tommy got promoted. He's doing, or not promoted, he got demoted, but don't tell him that. And he's doing after hours, which debuted this morning. I had no idea.
Oh, did it?
Yes.
Oh, I would have called.
As it turns out, as he told me on Friday, he had no idea either.
Oh, okay. Well, Tommy's an interesting guy because...
Wait, so hold on. If he does after hours, so that means his first show is...
So
first show of the week is Sunday night, or is it Monday night?
He just had a little confused in translation. He thought it was Monday night. Instead, he was listed on the schedule for this morning, and he said in the end he prefers that because then he gets his Friday nights off the fist pump.
So he doesn't do Friday nights?
No, according to him.
Because that's technically Saturday morning.
Yeah, so now
according to him.
He'll do Sunday night, Monday morning, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. Then he could go to every club he wants.
He hits the rave on Friday night.
Exactly.
Yeah, Tommy.
So he did this morning, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. And so since he isn't here, Sean's picked up responsibilities such as pressing buttons. So anytime there's, space between commercials, that's on Sean. Anytime something is misplayed, that's on Sean. And the other thing that's on Sean is call screening. So you can't bitch about a caller that you don't like when you screen the caller.
Dude, new sheriff in town. You're right. And there's going to be some tight windows that these guys are going to have to throw through to get through the air now.
Do you remember his question? Because he asked us a question.
It was about L.A. and New York.
Oh, L.A. versus New York, iconic moments. I'll do you a favor, Avi.
Iconic championship moments.
Championship moments, I'll do him a favor. I think that's a really interesting topic for, let's say, when the Knicks play the Lakers.
Yeah.
Which they actually do in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
So when the Knicks play the Lakers, it's on a Sunday night.
What about the Dodgers?
What about the Dodgers are not playing baseball right now?
Yeah, Yankees losing to the Dodgers, the Reggie Jackson 3-home run game, Rangers, Kings 5 overtimes, Lakers sweeping the Nets.
Sean,
look at him. He's doing it.
We're
Good
not
job,
doing it.
man.
Why are you doing it? I said,
he asked me. Well, now he's getting rid of it because he's never calling back.
Yeah,
so
that's it. We're not going
you got
back.
it done.
Avi's dead to us, so I'm at least giving him his run now.
I was writing it down for that Monday after Knicks Lakers where we could have some fun with New York versus LA. You just spilled the beans.
You know why? Because you know what's going to happen that Monday? You're going to ask me to pull Avi's call, and we're going to revisit it, and I'm not doing that either.
That's the other thing. Sean feels he has a lot of work of pulling stuff, but I got good news for him. So on Friday's program, January 2nd, it was our last in the afternoons, we made predictions for 2026. And I knew that this was going to be challenging for Sean to pull because it's a year from now when we check in on the results. So I spent my Friday night pulling the audio myself. It's all done. You got nothing to worry about.
Wow,
great. Thanks.
So, it's a great Friday night you had.
Wow.
It's awesome, dude.
My wife, he really celebrated that last day in the afternoon. So.
My wife had the flu. My kids fell asleep. It was just,
All right, what else are you going to do?
Yeah. I ended up getting addicted. I ended up getting addicted to YouTube, and I started watching a comedy series on YouTube.
You know,
It's YouTube based?
So it's this guy, these two friends.
By the way, you can find us on YouTube right now.
Is that true?
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Sean?
How about that?
Is that true?
Aren't we on YouTube?
I'm going to go to my YouTube page right now.
I should have checked before I promoted
Yeah,
on
no,
YouTube channel.
I see it now. I see it on YouTube. Evan and Tiki. That's
there
great.
it is.
Yes.
Evan and Tiki on YouTube. You can see our faces if you'd like instead of just listening to our voices.
Yeah, and if you're wondering why we're standing, because G asked me that question too, do you always stand? I got a bad hamstring, so I'm standing because of that, and I think Tiki's just joining me.
Yes.
So you and Russell will.
Because I'm a good partner like that.
That's right. So while
Plus,
I was...
it would be awkward if I was sitting down and looking up at you.
That's true. I'd feel like a king. So I found this YouTube channel. It's these two guys. I think they're in their mid-late 20s. They're comedians. And they wrote like skits, really focusing on men and women relationships. And it's called Mikey and Wyatt. And they have a whole channel where he gets friend zoned, and then he wants to sleep with her, and then she won't sleep with him, and then they break up, and then they're together. It's freaking hilarious. And I realize like each of these videos have like 1 million views.
Wow.
So I'm late to the party.
Wow, you are.
It's called Mikey and Wyatt, and I don't know who these guys are, but you are freaking brilliant. I spent the whole weekend, whenever I was bored not watching sports, with my family sick, just watching your videos. Mikey's awesome. Claire's fantastic. What an actress. Yeah.
What an actress.
What an actress. They're fantastic. Anyhow, we'll get back to your calls.
Exclusively on YouTube.
Exclusively on YouTube. As soon as I send Sean these clips, he's going to get into it. I'm just telling you.
I'm going to get into it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
You're going to like the girls. You're going to like the comedy. You're going to like everything.
I like other girls on the internet. They're not on YouTube.
Is there nudity?
No.
Okay, so Sean won't like it.
Fair point.
Talking to Sean, not Tommy.
Evan, just keep me abreast of the situation.
Jason's in Montgomery. What's up, Jason?
Hey, Jason.
Hey, what's going on, Evan and Tiki? Congrats on the new time slot.
Thank you, man.
No problem. So I'm very mixed with, obviously how the Jets season ended with Aaron Glenn trying to give us hope going into next year. So I get what you're saying as far as Aaron Glenn. You got to, give him more than 1 year. But I guess here's the one thing I'll bring. I've accepted that you're not going to bring in a veteran coach. Like, Tomlin's probably not going to want to come here. Harbaugh's not going to come here. Here's my one caveat. I think this is more realistic, but what are your guys' thoughts? Would you, if Aaron Glenn was fired, would you like the idea of possibly bringing in Cliff Kingsbury and Marcus Mariota, like a double package, and say, let's go? Would you?
I just don't love Marcus, man, and Cliff. The shine is off, unfortunately.
You know what I've learned about Cliff?
It's not his fault.
You know what I've learned about Cliff, and tell me if I'm speaking out of turn on this. between what happened in college, what happened in Arizona, and now Washington, where there is talk that Dan Quinn may not bring him back.
Yeah.
That is on the table.
No, I think he's going to get fired.
Okay, so he may get fired.
Right.
It feels like Cliff Kingsbury wears out his welcome very quickly.
Whoa.
That's the feel. Like he's successful, and then it goes away real quick.
Well, I think he's great at what he does, but then you have to evolve. So it's one thing to be great, but you keep doing the same thing over and over again, it just becomes stale, and it doesn't. People catch up. Defenses can now I don't know be ahead of you as opposed to chasing what you're trying to do. He's got 2 rookies of the year on his resume.
Right.
Kyler Murray in Arizona, you mentioned, and obviously Jaden Daniels a year ago. And Jaden Daniels got hurt, so that's the caveat you throw in here. But it was off before Jaden Daniels got hurt earlier in this season. So there's a good chance that he's not available or he's not employed by the Commanders anymore. But do you want him to be your head coach? And the answer is no.
No.
You don't.
No.
Right, because if you fail as head coach and then you fail after 2 years as a coordinator, are you really that good at what you're doing? Right? And maybe if you are, you need that year of reflection. You know what I mean? We always talk about it with the Adam Gases of the world, that maybe you should have taken a year off. He probably needs to recalibrate himself before he gets right back into coaching again.
We'll get back to your calls coming up, 888-808-1019. Plus, more on Joe Schoen's return, which has now become official. The Giants are not firing their general manager. Why it's a good thing. Evan and Tiki here on The Fan.
You guys know I am busy. Busy. I got 6 kids. You know I'm busy. I'm always on the go, juggling everything. But the one thing I value most is feeling safe and knowing that my family is safe when I'm not with them. That's why I turn to our partners at Slomin's. They have a new Sloman Shield Link system, and I got this recently installed into my house, and it is absolutely amazing. It combines safety, convenience, and peace of mind. Most importantly, I can manage it all from my phone. Now, think of this scenario. My wife is down in Miami. I have to go down there for a little bit. So my mother-in-law is home with my kids. And sometimes she doesn't know how to turn the garage lights on. She doesn't know how to set the landscape lighting. I can do it for her. It's so easy. Or sometimes when my kids need to come home and we're not there, we open the garage from them just from the comfort of our phone. There are lots of things that are involved in this thing. The thing I love most is that right before I get home, I click on the stereo system that runs throughout my living room and the kitchen, and the music is playing. As soon as I walk in the door, it is absolutely fantastic. Not to mention the doorbell cameras and the smoke detectors. I feel safe, and I feel in control of my home experience. You can experience the future of home security as well, and the automation with the Sloman Shield Link system. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. Or visit Slomans.com. That's Slomans.com for the Sloman Shield Link.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
The Baltimore Ravens need to move on from head coach John Harbaugh. Inexcusable to not make the playoffs in the year of Lamar Jackson's prime. And I know Lamar missed time this season. You cannot lose to a Steelers team in a win-and-in game that doesn't have its best wide receiver. Year 9 is coming up of John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson. Haven't even made a conference championship game. It's time for the Ravens to move on from John Harbaugh. I'm Nick Costos.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Orgavada Zona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together. So you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Sal Licata here, and wow, are we thrilled with the incredible job CertaPro Painters did on our house. So clean, so efficient, they actually listened to us and even satisfied my wife, which, as you know, isn't easy. If you've been putting off painting because of the economy or tariff worries, don't. Painting your house is the easiest and most efficient way to protect and raise your home's value. Do what we did. Call CertaPro Painters today.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Boomer here. If you care about cooking your meat to perfection as much as I do, the IQ Sense Smart Meat Thermometer from Chef IQ wirelessly monitors your food's internal temperature in real time and pairs with the Chef IQ app to tell you when it's time to flip, rest, and serve. So there's no guesswork, there's no overcooking, just perfect USDA safe temps every single time. It even connects to the new Chef IQ mini oven for hands-off precision cooking. So why not grab yours today at chefiq.com, code word BOOMER to save 30% at checkout.
Officer, could I get your perspective as a man of the law?
You know I'm a mall cop, right?
You see this Hyundai Santa Fe? I only paid for it.
Whoa.
Right? I'm not in trouble, am I?
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on all Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid models. Now, during the final days of the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offers end January 5th. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Facing lymphoma, leukemia, or myeloma, John Thurr Cancer Center at Hackensack and Jersey Shore University Medical Centers offers pioneering life-saving options. Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Donato, head of the state's largest, most experienced CAR T-cell program, a treatment empowering your immune system to fight cancer. For personalized quality care in Hackensack or Neptune from the state's best cancer program, call 833-CANCER-MD.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I left the pizza box on top of my car before driving home. Not smart. Oh, and a semi just turned my deep dish into a thin crust.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
As the owner, coach, and quarterback of your small business, you call the shots. From inventory to payroll and more. Now it's time to bring in LendSeek, your funding MVP. No delay of game here. Get up to $2 million in as fast as 24 hours for business lines of credit or term loans. Let LendSeek's AI marketplace assist you in making the winning play and score that touchdown. Apply at lendseek.com, LENDSEEK.com.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
Talk sports with Craig Carton and Chris McMonagle on The Carton Show. Afternoons from 2 to 7 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
That is right. Coming up at 2, the return of my man, Craig Carton, with Chris McMonagle. And at 5:30 today, the owner of the New York Knicks, currently on a losing streak, And the New York Rangers, pretty excited over their victory over the Florida Panthers down in Miami. James Dolan will join the show coming up at 5:30, so make sure you are tuned in. I don't know if you missed this, but as you know, while you were broadcasting, sometimes Tiki would say dirty things on television. Troy Aikman pulled the Tiki barber.
Did he really?
Ladies and gentlemen, here is Troy Aikman from over the weekend.
See the confusion, them trying to communicate and get lined up, the play clock running down, and they're able...
It happens. It's one of those words. It just
play clock.
It happens. To Joe Schoen, you mentioned earlier, and if you're just tuning in, Joe Schoen is returning as general manager of the New York Giants. It felt like over the last week or two that was inevitable. I do take an L on that, by the way, and I'm open and honest about it. I remember back in October, November, when Brian Daboll got fired, and it was initially reported that Joe Schoen would lead the coaching search. My initial reaction was, I don't believe that. Let's see what happens the rest of the way. I could see a world where if things end badly for the Giants, ownership says, you know what, let's blow the whole thing up. And I genuinely have to take an L because I don't think things went very well. They obviously lost a lot of games before they won the final 2 games of the season. So I guess the Giants were pretty set that Joe Schoen was going to keep the job.
Yeah.
I am more anti-Schoen than you, but I'll meet you in the middle on this, on why I think it can be a good thing. If this coaching search ends with someone with experience, if it ends with a Mike Tomlin, a John Harbaugh, a Mike McCarthy, a Kevin Stefanski, and we'll spend more time on those guys a little bit later on, I would almost envision, Teak, that head coach is going to have so much say that Joe Schoen's role is just a little limited.
Yeah.
And I'd have less of a problem with that.
Yeah, but I also think that what Joe and really any general manager is supposed to do is identify talent. So there's a massive scouting department. We don't see most of them, but there's a ton of scouts that are out everywhere. And they put reports together. They look for good talent. They try to get the inside story so they understand what kind of kid this guy is. Does he really have a desire to be great? Is he smart? Like all those things. And then you have these massive reports, and they all funnel up to the general manager. And then the general manager is making recommendations, especially when they're big, decisions like quarterbacks or offensive tackles, left tackles, etc. And so his job, even if it is diminished, is still hugely important, right? And so, yes, you get a head coach, but a head coach like Andy Reid, for instance, when he was in Philly, and probably even now, even though I know Veach does a lot out there in Kansas City, he doesn't have the time to manage the scouting department. He doesn't have the time to, go scout. Joe Schoen's on the road every week.
No, but doesn't that guy have final say on the players that they end up signing?
I think now, yes, the GM does. In some cases, I think the head coach ultimately does.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That if they bring in that veteran head coach, you're right, Joe Schoen will run the day-to-day operations, but ultimately the big decisions that need to be made, and the Giants have some pretty big decisions to be made. They may not seem sexy like picking a future quarterback, but Jermaine Illuminor, and if they should pay him or not, is a pretty big freaking decision. And I think ultimately that's going to come down to the head coach if the head coach is a man with experience and a resume.
Yeah.
And I just view this as best as I can as an IFO in that I don't think Joe Schoen's done a very good job. And a couple of weeks ago, we laid out our grades. My grades were much tougher than you. Okay, we disagree.
Right.
But I'm more okay with it and him coming back if I'm bringing in that veteran head coach where I think more is going to be on their plate.
I think that the challenge for me with negatively evaluating Joe Schoen is that I think he's done a good job of bringing good talent here. And the reason that they're losing is not the talent. Yeah, people can throw out the Evan Neal draft pick, the Deontay Banks. You missed it last week, but I went on this little just little tangent about Deontay Banks.
I love Tiki tirades, by the way.
Right, but it wasn't a tirade. It was more like I'm fearful that he is an immature kid, even at 24, and is going to go someplace else and be amazing.
Yeah.
I fear that.
You have to live with that, though, because it ain't happening.
You're right. He's a glorified kick returner right now.
Yeah.
And so that's really all he does well. And so my point is, Joe Schoen has brought good talent. The reason they were losing games wasn't the talent. They were losing games because of coaching decisions. And this season is exemplified in one play for me. It's 3rd and 5 with 6 minutes to go against the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
And you throw the freaking ball, run it. They're using timeouts. And so, like, that moment, that decision changed the season. If they win that game, they're all of a sudden 3-4, right? Because they've already beaten the Eagles. They beat the Chargers, right? They're beating some of the best teams in football, and who knows where the season goes.
No, I think you're right. And I want to say this very nicely to you and Sean, because, I have nothing but respect for you. But I run to the same problem, that when I talk about my teams, I'm very emotional. And sometimes it's better to hear the voice of someone who's independent-minded. Sometimes your opinion on the Mets and the Jets is just more clear than my opinion. And so no matter what you guys say, and I think both of you are very fair, people are going to look at Sean Morash as he's a positive Giant fan who's going to spin everything, and they're going to look at Tiki as the Giant legend. Everything's great with the world.
Interesting.
I'm going to tell you
I'm as critical as anybody.
I know it's not fair, and I'm critical too with the Mets, but it's just the world we live in.
Just for the record, before you paint me a picture, I'm absolutely disgusted at the idea that Joe Shane's returning, for the record.
Yeah, but you're overall optimistic about the future.
Less today.
Interesting. All right. Well, I was just trying to build up to my opinion matters so much, but clearly it's not going to work. I was going to tell you as an independent football observer, as someone that thought the Giants were going to have a bad season, and you said, you're a troll, you're so negative. I feel really good about the future of the New York Giants. And I say that without the emotion that's attached to it. I genuinely do. Because now that the season is over and I'm looking back at these 17 games, I see a roster that's close.
Right.
I see a team, and the reason I'm bringing this up now is you brought up the Denver game. These games should have been won.
Yeah.
With proper coaching, they win those games. I really believe in your quarterback. And oh, by the way, you have a top draft pick. So I look at your franchise, and I'm trying not to use the Jets as well. They suck so much. Everything looks better. And I genuinely look at the Giants and say, wow, they really are tailor-made to be the New England Patriots of 2026, or even the Carolina Panthers of 2026, or any other team that seemed to come out of nowhere. I feel good about your team. I don't think you're that far away. So all I was trying to do is say, Sean and Tiki, you're probably pretty biased, and I'm just being honest.
But here's why I'm disgusted by this whole situation, because the more I think about it, if you are right, if everybody's right that he has built a good enough roster to compete, and we've had the quarterback be blamed, now we've had the coach be blamed, this is where it's almost unfair. Whoever the new head coach that gets hired, doesn't it kind of feel like there should be some sort of playoff mandate for Joe Shane this year? Because if you've really built a good enough roster and you get to year 5, year 6, now I've lost count of how many years, at some point, the blame has to stop being spun around. If you switch the head coach now and the roster's good enough, you should be a playoff team.
I would say, what's his contract situation is, This is
it. He's going to be a lame duck, so they're going to extend him?
Next year, meaning 2026 is his last season.
Correct.
Right. So that makes it difficult.
Okay, and then if you hire...
Because it almost becomes a playoff mandate, even without saying it's a playoff mandate.
And if you're the new head coach, now you're living through this. And now, look, if they hire the right head coach, nobody's going to care. I understand that. So now you're going to bring in a new GM that now the coach is picking on the the Giants constantly find themselves not properly aligned between coach, quarterback, and GM, and it becomes so frustrating.
It's interesting. It's almost like you need an outside voice to direct it. Because Sean and I have been talking, off air about Matt Ryan. So Matt Ryan apparently is leaving CBS Sports, and he's going to take a job with the Atlanta Falcons as the vice president of football operations.
And as we know, Atlanta has blown it up.
Yes. Fontenot is gone, the general manager. Raheem Morris got fired after winning 4 games in a row to end the season.
8 and 9 in back-to-back years.
But they want to strip it down and they have a good group of talented players.
Dude, if they win the Jet game, they win the division.
Dude, it's the reason
they should have won the Jet game.
Think about that.
I know. I thought a lot about it yesterday.
They won 4 games in a row after losing to the Jets. If they beat the Jets, they are representing the NFC South in the playoffs.
If only the results were different. But then again, Spence was so happy with that game-winning field goal.
But my point is, what the Falcons are doing is it's not unique because John Elway did this in Denver. Obviously, Tom Brady is doing this kind of straddling 2 jobs, making whatever he's making for Fox, and then and working for the Raiders as well. And so,
10% owner,
right? But it's almost becoming, I think, necessary for some of these organizations, football teams, to find talent. They're talented players who are fully committed. They don't have any other agenda. It's not like, oh yeah, this is a good job for me. I'm making $2 million. They're committed to making the organization be great. and they're getting hired because they bring an independent, even though it's kind of biased, voice to the owner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an interesting.
Well,
it's an interesting little twist that's starting to happen with some of these former players for some of these great organizations.
If I could advise John Mara, I would create a panel because I don't like one person. It's too dictatorship-like.
Right.
I need a democracy. So here's my democracy. Michael Strahan, Eli Manning, and Tiki Barber.
I like it.
And the three of those guys go in a room and say, what do you want to do? Let's build this team up.
Right. Who do you like?
And you guys are all very different. Like, it's perfect. It's a perfect dichotomy.
Yeah.
Dichotomy.
And you allow Carl Banks to be like the treasurer. He gets to fight with everybody online about what's going on. We have a statement from John Mara and Steve Tisch on the ending of the season.
Let's hear it.
The 2025 season has been deeply disappointing, and the results on the field have not lived up to the standard this organization and our fans expect. As previously stated, Joe Shane will remain our general manager and continue to lead our football operations and the search for our next head coach. Continuity and stability in the front office is important to our progress. We believe in our young core of talent, which we can build around for future success.
Floor is yours. Go to town, Sean, because you don't want this. You're very upset about this. I think you represent a good amount of Giant fans.
Man, I'm all about continuity and stability, but like how many years is too many years? And I do believe in the young core of talent. But again, if you think that we have a young core of talent that we can build around future success, this can't take another 2 years to build. The head coach that gets hired plus the tinkering the offseason, that better be it for this team to go out there and compete, because there's no reason that we should have lived through a 4 and 3 win season back to back and have that be good enough of a roster of talent without the right head coach being in place.
This is why, in my opinion, it is a must that it's a veteran head coach.
Yeah,
it's a must.
Yeah, you don't have the room to figure it out, for him to figure it out, and it's figuring out a lot of things. Obviously, the machinations of practice and schedule and all that's one thing, but you can't figure out how to manage people. You got to know how to do that,
right? Because
that's what a head coach is doing, individually affecting every player so that they are motivated to be their best. That's what a head coach does. And if you're just, I'm used to talking to the wide receiver room, or I'm maybe used to talking to the offense, but not the whole team. Yeah, that's a little daunting for me. It's going to take me some. You can't have that. You got to have somebody who walks in, knows exactly what their plan is, and follows it to a T.
And I agree with that. The other reason I'd have that is you keep bringing up a playoff mandate. I don't know if it's a playoff mandate. I'll call it something else. I'll call it a you better be freaking good mandate.
Yeah.
Like, you better be a good football. Because, look, the NFL's a weird place. We just saw the Baltimore Ravens miss the playoffs on a missed kick by a 44-yard field goal by a rookie kicker who hadn't missed any field goals short of 50 yards all year long.
Right.
Football's weird. We saw Matt Castle and the Patriots win 11 games and not make the playoffs in 2008. So I wouldn't make it definitive playoffs or bust, but I'd say they better be good.
Did I tell you I hate rookies?
Yeah.
You do hate rookies.
Yeah.
There you go.
Once Sean gets comfortable at his new job, he will play that drop for you. But for now, you'll have to recreate.
You're going to have to deal with this part of this. The Giants need to pass the pool cover test next year. Bare minimum.
What's the pool cover test?
Not be eliminated by the time everybody's cover is on their pools in New York. Very simple test to pass. Shouldn't be hard to fail it.
And by the way, that's an eye test passing.
Yeah.
Because I know that's mostly, for most people, early October. Maybe late September.
You know what? How about this? I'll switch it up. The Spirit Halloween test. Before every Spirit Halloween is closed in the tri-state area, they better not be eliminated.
No, first of all, the bar is so stupidly low. That's a Jet bar. The Giant
That's a Jet bar. We're the worst team in the last decade. We are the Jets.
But with the roster you have and the coach you're about to hire, I call it the Week 18 test. When we go to Week 18, we are going to want to work and not take vacations, because that's going to be a big game.
Yeah, how about we play on that Saturday doubleheader?
Yes, Week 18's got to matter. That's my test.
I mean, it's as simple. Meaningful December football.
Yes.
That's the test.
Yes.
Are you playing meaningful games in December?
Are kids excited to open up a Camp Scatterboo jersey on Christmas?
Yes.
Are they?
Yeah, you just brought up Spirit Halloween. and putting covers on pools. What kind of loser are you?
By the way,
I'm Joe Shane. That's what kind of loser I am.
He used the wrong example because he keeps his pool open till November.
Oh, okay. Well, it's the end of October, but I digress. My pool cover test. By the way, I covered my pool the morning of the Denver game this year.
Wow. And that's really, truthfully, looking back at the death of a season, that's when the season went to hell. Right?
No doubt.
Because it felt like things were turning.
Yeah.
Let's get back to your calls. 888-808-1019. If you're just tuning in, Joe B will join us at 12 noon in this new time slot. That's, I guess, the equivalent of 4 o'clock when he used to join us. So you can set your clock. Joe B coming up in about 45 minutes. Let's go to Michael in Bucks County. Good afternoon or good morning, Michael, depending on perspective.
Hey, guys. How you doing? I'm indifferent about keeping Joe Shane's GM. I do want to say that people that are kind of discounting Mara's diagnosis, and trying to put the situation into two different things in a vacuum, they're kind of wrong. The Giants are a family-run organization, and they always have been.
Yep.
That coupled with the fact that, to Tiki's point, they blew like 6 games with idiotic coaching decisions, it kind of made the outcome of this pretty predictable.
Yes.
So I just don't want to discount Mr. Mara's health, though. Excuse me. We saw at the end of the game yesterday, they gave him the game ball, and he doesn't look too good. So I'm just hoping for the best for him and hoping for the best for the Giants and Shane in the future. And that's really all I got. Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
and I appreciate you, Michael. And I know that John and the Mara family appreciate your thoughts and wishes. I send them as well, obviously, close to that family. And you hate to see somebody go through that, but he keeps going to work.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you.
He's not letting this rule his life, that's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Do you think, I assume he'll be in every meeting, but one thing about Mr. Maris, he's a very hands-on owner when it comes to hiring people.
100%.
Is he going to be the final decider on who this next head coach is?
I would think so. Yes, him and Mr. Tisch, Steve Tisch. I think Steve was there yesterday as well at the game. I didn't see him, but I saw Jamie. I saw his wife at the game. So I know that they were both there yesterday. And so it's like this means something right now.
Of course.
Because this is you don't want to say it's the last opportunity, but it's an opportunity for John to get this right. And so this is a serious process. And so to restart and bring in a different general manager that you don't really know, does that make sense?
It's a good question. I want to give you a good answer.
Now you've known Joe for 5 years, 4 years.
Yeah, I'm mixed about it because I understand the point. I understand.
He's changed the scouting department. He's revolutionized it in so many ways.
Suck.
I know.
That's my trump card to everything you're saying, which is a good point.
I agree with you. But to me, I can look at almost every game, I can point to a ridiculous athlete, meaning player error, or a stupid-ass coaching decision.
You're not wrong.
And if you look at the first Dallas game. The first Dallas game was unbelievable. We were like, oh, yes, we got it. Russell Wilson has got that right? And then he gets into the overtime. The defense, who couldn't stop a nosebleed for the entire game, get 2 stops in overtime. And Russell Wilson screws it up, right? And then we talked about the Denver and the coaching decision. Hell, think about what was the last game where Mike Kafka went for it on 4th and was that the Raiders? I forget who it was. No, it wasn't the Raiders. It was the game they lost.
The Bear game?
I can't remember. He went for it on 4th and 5.
Oh, it was the Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings. Like 4th and 5 inside the 10-yard line.
The season's now a blur.
His play call on 3rd down to set up 4th and 5 was worse.
God, it's just so bad.
Yeah.
And to me, that's not Joe Shane. It's most of the season has been ridiculous play calling, defensively, offensively, and just underperforming from some of these athletes. They're not their best selves, right? If you get the best selves of all of our athletes, that's including guys like Dexter Lawrence and I don't know, Jermaine Illuminor and Tyrone Tracy, then this team is not 4 wins at the end of the season. I mean, they maybe have 8.
It's a different season.
It's a completely different season. And it feels different.
But the other thing, though, and this is the fun and frustrating part about alternate history, and we opened the show talking about if the Jets had kept Aaron Rodgers, so many things would be different. If they don't blow the Denver game, Brian Daboll doesn't get fired.
No, you're right.
There's a really good chance he finishes the season as head coach.
Right, because they would have won 3 of 4.
Let's go to Anthony in Old Bridge, New Jersey. What's up, Anthony?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on, Evan, in the midday, where it should be. Okay. I don't understand why everyone can't see it the way you see it, Tiki. I feel like it's so logical and so obvious. This team is so much better talent-wise, and the coaches could not get the best out of them. They put them in the wrong situations all season, from game 1 to game 18. And it's so frustrating to hear it. And you're talking about people wanting to change the GM, and if you were like, you can't overdo that. You brought in a good group of players. You're going to bring in a new GM. What if he sees that in a different lens, and then he wants to get rid of some of them? It just doesn't make any sense. I know people are frustrated. I'm just as frustrated as the next Giant fan, but at the end of the day, the stability and the foundation of what they're trying to build, yes, it's not been great, but listen, they made the playoffs the first year, had some bad things. We all knew who Daniel Jones was, and this year was a coaching disaster. So at the end of the day, they need, as Slayton said it, a Coughlin-esque coach to bring the best.
By the way, and thank you for the call. That was a very interesting comment by Darius Slayton. If you missed it, Darius Slayton said earlier this morning that he advises the Giants to hire a Coughlin-like head coach. Yeah. And I thought it was interesting. Not that I disagree with him. It was just for Darius Slayton, who did not play for Tom Coughlin, to just bring up Tom Coughlin. Right. Was he just pandering to Giant fans? Right. Let me name the last good coach the team had.
He's also the last guy I want to hear from on who the next head coach should be, to be quite frank.
Played well yesterday, Sean.
Of course. No, like he did last year versus the Colts. Every time you don't need him, he's Jerry Rice. It's unbelievable.
He made a good block on the Daniel Bellinger touchdown.
He did. What a play that was.
Got in the way.
Let's go to Larry on Long Island. Hey, Larry.
Hey, how are you? Thank you very much for taking my call.
Pleasure, Larry.
So in my view, Aaron Glenn needs to be replaced. And I'll tell you a different take about it. So Dante Moore, in my view, will not be coming out of school if Aaron Glenn is still the head coach of the Jets, because the Jets are where quarterbacks go to die. He's had a chance to kind of work with Justin Fields. That failed. The Jets failed with Zach Wilson, with Sam Darnold. Essentially, what we're saying is that this year, the players, coaches, everybody has seen this massive delta between a creative, offensive-minded coach that could actually help a quarterback become great. And Aaron Glenn has shown nothing of that. So if you're actually looking at the first two, okay, Mendoza, Dante Moore, maybe Mendoza had to come out, but why would Dante Moore come out just to go to the Jets?
Why would Dante Moore come out, though, if they're now firing a coach after 1 year and hiring God knows who? Right. The resume you just laid out about Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson was prior to Aaron Glenn. So your whole point about this is the place where quarterbacks go to die, that's not simply going to change because you just fired Aaron Glenn.
No, I think it's less about Aaron Glenn in this case, even though he's on the right path. It's more about who the offensive coach is, who's the coordinator. Half watching because I was doing the post game, the early part of that Jets game yesterday, and I only started paying attention because I saw the stat line from Brady Cook, where he was 1 of 6 for 2 yards.
Did you watch him too? It was unbelievable.
So I went back and watched it. And so,
how about that fourth down?
But exactly in real time, when I was looking at it, I was like, man, didn't I see this before? And then I remember going back and looking at with Justin Fields' game where he was like 2 of 11 for 8 yards or something like that in the first half of games. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, these quarterbacks stink. But isn't this on the coordinator? Right? Isn't this on Tanner Engstrand? How can you not scheme something that's easy to complete and get 5 yards, 12 yards, 20 yards? I'm not talking about in the first series or 2 or quarter. This was at halftime, right? He had 11 yards at halftime.
Yeah.
That's less than player incompetence. So there's a lot that needs to happen with the Jets. It might be firing Aaron Glenn, but I think there's a lot of recalculating that needs to happen with this team. More of your calls
coming up. But first, I guess we have more breaking news.
Yeah, how about this? This Fan Focus is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. The Raiders have fired Coach Pete Carroll. Carroll signed a 3-year deal 1 year ago, lasts 1 year, and gets a 60-yard field goal that could have, had the Giants lost, screwed the Raiders out of the first pick, but it didn't. Pete Carroll gives the Raiders the first pick, and he is out after 1 year.
Brian Flores, Brian Dable, Raheem Moore.
That would be quite a crew.
That's a great trio.
That would be a crew. So far on this Black Monday, coaches that are being fired were at least heavily speculated to be fired.
Yes.
Pete Carroll, and I think the report came out yesterday, was likely to go. He is now officially gone. Kevin Stefanski was rumored to go. He is officially gone. Raheem Morris got fired last night. So that was prior to today. So far, we haven't had the stunner yet. We've had a lot that we've expected when it comes to head coaches being fired. And speaking of head coaches, we'll come back with more of your calls, 888-808-1019. There is a name that was brought up the other day. I had never heard this name. You've never heard this name. He's a huge name who will be talked about as a head coach. And I'm very curious how Giant fans would take this shocking hire. We'll find out who that guy is coming up. It's Evan and Tiki here on The Fan.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Hey there, don't miss the all-new Carton Show with me, Craig Carton, and Chris McMonagle, debuting today at 2 p.m. with special guest, my main man, Mr. James Dolan, live in studio for an exclusive sit-down at 5:30 p.m. Only on your home for everything New York sports, 101.9 FM, WFAN, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Orgavada Zona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Hey, Boomer here. You know, in football, the right play wins the game. On the job, the right tools do the same. That's why pros choose Milwaukee. And Cooper Electric has the full lineup ready for you. Power tools, accessories, and everything you need to keep your projects moving. Make the winning play. Visit Cooper-Electric.com today. That's Cooper-Electric.com. Cooper Electric. Our knowledge is electric.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer, now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back.
I'm injury attorney John Ryan D'Agostino, nicknamed The Closer, continuing D'Agostino and Associates' legacy of helping the injured for over 35 years. My father, John D'Agostino, built this injury firm to help accident victims.
This is John D'Agostino, and this is a family firm. For us, it's about doing what's right and making sure somebody pays for your pain. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-BITE-BACK.
They call me The Closer because big or small, in court or out, I'm fighting to get the job done, to win, to get you every dollar you deserve.
D'Agostino and Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Ranger fans, shoot your shot with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Rangers. Add some excitement to every Rangers game this season by downloading the BetMGM app and getting instant access to a variety of parlay selection features and live betting options. Enjoy same-game parlays, player props, boosted odds specials, the best daily promotions in the business, and so much more when you sign up. The chase is on for the next Stanley Cup, so get hyped for Rangers action all season long with an official sports betting partner of the New York Rangers. Sign up today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem? In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the Game of the Week
Report, brought to you by Hyundai.
The College Football Subdivision National Championship is set for Illinois and Montana to go head-to-head on Monday night in Nashville to crown this season's winner. Montana hasn't won since 1984, and Illinois is looking to bring home their first title ever following a close loss in 2014.
The Game of the Week Report is brought to you by Hyundai. Get into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event going on now.
Get into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, extended until January 5th, and get away with a deal so right it almost feels wrong. Because right now, you can get a great deal on our most popular models, including our adventure-ready SUVs, like the Hyundai Santa Fe or Santa Fe hybrid models. There's also our bold and stylish Elantra, packed with all the latest tech, or go all-electric with the Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 6. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, extended until January 5th. Visit HyundaiUSA.com for details. That's HyundaiUSA.com.
Tell Siri to dial the fan. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Evan and Tiki here on The Fan. The Carton Show debuting coming up at 2 o'clock with Chris McMonagle, which reminds me, let me get this right. You are listening to Evan and Tiki with Sean Morash. Attaboy. There you go. I'm figuring it out. Now, if you're just tuning in, we've already seen some firings here on this Black Monday. Pete Carroll is no longer the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Kevin Stefanski, no longer the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. And so naturally, those guys will be mentioned. They'll be talked about as, hey, Giant fans, would you hire Kevin Stefanski? More on that in a few minutes. Would you hire Pete Carroll? There's another name I heard yesterday, and this was a stunner, of a big-name guy who will get interviews. And I'm very curious, Tiki's opinion on this. Sean as well. So instead of me telling you, here is Ian Rappaport from NFL Network filing his report on this shocking potential head coach.
There's a chance we have not heard the last of Philip Rivers in the NFL. Sources say Rivers is expected to get head coach interest in this cycle. Teams are doing the research, doing the background work. This has happened in the past, and we'll see what interest level Rivers has in this.
What do you think?
When did this happen in the past?
A guy going straight from playing to coaching?
This sounds like baseball, because this happens in baseball, right?
And basketball.
Basketball.
Jason
Jason
Kidd
Kidd is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Has this ever happened in football?
I don't know if they're trying to refer to the Jeff Saturday situation.
No, I'm talking about going straight from the field, because he was literally on the field 2 weeks ago. Now, he didn't play this past weekend.
I got two examples, but they were both coordinator jobs. They did not go right to head coach. Davis Webb and Josh McCown.
Yeah.
Or those two guys, did that fit?
Davis Webb went right to quarterback coach first.
But I just said coaching. I didn't say head coaching.
Yeah, I didn't say head coaching.
I don't think this has been done as a head coach.
No, there's no way this has been done as head coach. Now, look, I guess it makes sense because Philip Rivers was coaching in high school, and it's coaching. So
got experience.
You don't know what it's going to look like on the NFL level, but you do know that he has the mind to be in front of a room full of, in this case, boys. But it's different. But that's interesting. And I don't hate it, by the way.
Well, how about that?
I don't loathe this.
Just keep
Now, I wouldn't want him to be the Giants head coach, but I don't mind him getting interviews because you just never know. Like, he could blow somebody away. He could Mike Tomlin it. You remember Mike Tomlin was defensive coordinator for a year in Minnesota.
And Rivers is older than when Tomlin was.
100%. And he gets the head coaching he gets the interview with the Pittsburgh Steelers, blows him away, they hire him. So I actually don't hate this. And I love former players, especially the star players, being more involved in this league. You need it, right? For so long, there were so many guys who just hadn't done it that were making a lot of the decisions and being coaches.
Right.
Now you're starting to see former players look at being an executive or being a coach as a next viable career.
Yeah.
In fact, it makes sense. We see it in basketball all the time.
Sure.
We see it in baseball. Almost all of them. Half of them.
You're mostly former players when you're a manager in baseball.
And so, why not? I don't hate this. I love this, actually.
I'm surprised that you...
Philip Rivers.
I'm surprised.
I think I would hate it?
I thought you would take it more... Because, look, the one thing I'll agree with you on is I just don't think that fits the Giants. I want an experienced head coach for the Giants.
I agree.
And so, to me, it would be a tough sell for them. Is it different with, let's say, Tennessee? I think so. I mean, I'd look at Cam Ward, who ended up having a decent rookie season and finished strong, and say, hey, it wouldn't hurt to work with Philip Rivers.
Right.
That's not bad. So I think it depends on the situation.
Yeah. But you could also interview him as the head coach, and he lands as a coordinator.
If he's willing to do that.
Yes.
Because he is.
But why would he not?
I don't know.
Now, the problem is you're skipping the line.
Right.
There's so many guys that grind their way up from quality control to whatever, offensive assistant to wide receiver coach, quarterback coach. Oh, now I get a chance to be an offensive coordinator 18 years after I started.
Right.
And now maybe I'll be a head coach. But again, guys skip lines.
It happens. And
Kellen Moore, skip some lines.
And in fairness to Philip Rivers, I don't think the more I think about it, one of the first points you made was, when has this happened? The guy going directly from playing to coaching. I don't know if I'd even count that. He barely played. He was away from football for a half a decade.
True. And he
came back for a few weeks.
And he was coaching.
So I wouldn't look at it as Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd was playing that year with the Knicks. He was in the postseason. He played a bunch of games. Philip Rivers was there for 35 seconds.
The basketball is so much easier.
To make that transition?
Yeah, because think of what you're managing. You're managing 12 guys.
Yeah, it's a little different.
You're not, or whatever it is. How many is on a basketball squad? 15, 16? It's not like 53 plus a practice squad.
Do you like Philip Rivers? Are you intrigued, Sean?
I mean, I look at Philip Rivers as a head coach and go, as long as it doesn't affect my life, I'm good with it. So in other words, keep him away from the Giants, but go coach the Titans.
No interest from your end.
Zero. Not at this stage of the Giants. Zero.
So because
how old was Vrabel when his first job? I don't know.
That's a good question. Let me look at Mike
Vrabel's first head coaching job, because I think he's my age. I think he's 50. Maybe he's a couple years older than me.
But he was an assistant with the Texans first.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, his first job. What year was Mike Vrabel, and how old was he?
He retired from the NFL in 2010.
Yeah.
And then he got the head coaching job in 2018.
I mean, that's quick.
8 years,
that's relatively quick.
8 years.
Age is not. I have no issue with a young head coach. I just. I can't have you.
I'm talking about the time of grind.
Yes.
Like the grind that you've put on trying to become a head coach, because learning it is not easy.
My guess is he'll get interviews. He's not going to get a head coaching job, and I think ultimately he'll have to make the decision you suggested. Does he want to be a quarterback's coach somewhere?
Right.
Does he want to be an all? By the way,
didn't he say he was going to go back and coach?
Because he's going to go back and coach his high school
in Alabama, right?
Yeah. Little spoiler: he's going to end up being a college coach somewhere. Do that for 2 years, whatever school, and see where he goes from there. That seems to be like that kind of route for those guys.
I think that's harder.
Because of the recruiting in the NIL?
The recruiting in the NIL, it's worse than the professional game.
Yeah. Trent Dilfer just tried it and fizzled out.
Yeah, quickly. 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, USF.
Get your calls, 888-808-1019. Just tuning in, Joe Schoen is officially back. It was announced in a statement by John Mara. He returns as general manager of the New York Football Giants. And we haven't heard anything from the Jets, but there hasn't been hot seat talk around Aaron Glenn. It's more Jet fans and maybe those in the national media talking about firing Aaron Glenn. There has not been serious talk about the Jets doing it, so I don't think...
Do you think they should?
Do I?
Do you think they should reassure or address the non-story?
I think what they need to do, and I always appreciate this, and I understand why the Giants may not be able to do it right now, is I always like to hear from leadership when a season is over.
Right.
I do. I think it's great. The Giants have always done that. The Jets sometimes do it. So I want to hear from Darren Muji or Woody Johnson. Probably Darren Muji, only because Woody Johnson is bumbling when he speaks. It's not going to make me feel better.
He's going to say something that he shouldn't.
Yeah, I'd rather hear from Muji so he can kind of let us know his plan without telling us his plan. So I'm usually the kind of fan that says, I just want to hear from leadership when a season is over. We don't hear that from every team, though.
Right.
I mean, look at James Dolan, who's coming on today with Craig and Big Mac. We only hear from him when Craig's around, honestly, which is a compliment to Craig. That's the only time we hear from the guy.
It's good to have good friends.
That's right. Last time James Dolan, I think, spoke publicly is when he came in.
Is that right?
With Craig and I was with him. Yeah.
Wow.
And that was that feels like a million years ago. I think it was during 2022 because it was a down year for the Knicks. It was in the midst of Tom Thibodeau, and they were having a down year before they then went out and obviously made the playoffs 23, 24, 25.
Craig made sure to tell him morning show that was the last time he publicly spoke, and only he can get him to publicly speak.
Well, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
I know. He said it.
Did he say anything?
Did he? I don't remember. I'm trying to remember what the conversation was like. A lot of it was on there was a story about him not allowing people into the garden who were suing the garden, and then they were using like technology.
Who's suing the garden?
I honestly, this story, I don't
Was this
remember.
the face recognition stuff?
I think yes.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Can we do our first long-term bet in the midday that could be paid off tomorrow?
Go ahead.
It's going to get paid off tomorrow. I like it. So that's a short-term bet.
Okay. What is Chris McMonigal's first question to James Dolan today?
Chris Drury.
He goes Rangers.
He goes Rangers. Or, look, I don't know if Craig will start with this or get to it early, but I think one thing we're all intrigued by is just hearing from Dolan on the record, did you order Tom Thibodeau to be fired? And I remember fighting the good fight here on the radio station a year ago saying, I don't believe he did. Sure, he was in the meetings, but I don't think he ordered Leon Rose to do it. I think Leon had full authority to do that. And I know a lot of people out there disagree with me. I know it's an older story, but we haven't heard from Dolan on record.
Does it matter?
I think it does. This is where you and I disagree. You like to say it's over, it doesn't matter.
Of course.
I want to know what happened.
But what's it going to change, if anything?
It doesn't matter. It's good to know. Do you want to know who really killed Kennedy? Or, it's a long time ago. Who cares?
I mean, that's different.
Yeah, big difference.
Because if somebody didn't face justice because they got away with it, or they were hiding on the grassy knoll, or it was someone in the car himself shooting like behind them.
I like information, Teak. I want to know. So you're asking me as a listener? Yeah, I'd like to know that.
Okay.
So that could be Big Mac's question, but Craig may ask it first.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right, so my official short-term prediction is the first question Big Mac asks is specifically about the Rangers, and I'm going to go with Drury specifically.
Okay.
I'm going to say, how did you know Mike Brown? He's going to say, Mike, what made you know that Mike Brown was the right coach?
Oh, that's a good one, because that's a nice, comfortable one to get in.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, why no banner for the NBA Cup?
There's no way he's asking that.
Chris might mix it up.
All right, that's a good. You know what? This was a really good idea by you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm an ideas guy, Evan, as you know.
The problem is Sean doesn't like long-term bets because it involves someone cutting the audio.
No, I don't like long-term bets when, now I've learned a lesson, we make one long-term bet. We don't make the same bet 3 different times.
All right, so here's what he's referring to. And we have a show decision we need to make right after we talk to Joe today at about 12:45, after your Cinco de Lancho. The football season is over. Are you aware?
Yeah.
We made a lot of...
for our local teams.
Thank God.
We made a lot of predictions about the Giants and the Jets. And so naturally, today is the day to find out how right we were.
Right. Well, actually, I should be wearing an L today.
What are you wearing an L for?
Because I conceded that the Giants would have less wins than the Jets.
That's right, and you turned out to be wrong, but right. You were right before you were wrong. They were put away in a safe container that we need to go access. So I forgot what. Yeah, they're like in the hallway over there. I got to go get it because I have to put it in my drawer that we have here. But I'll get it for you next break. I promise you. But we predicted Giant and Jet win totals multiple times. We did it before opening day. We did it right after the NFL draft. And we also did it randomly in the middle of October.
And then also a point in the summer, just predicted who had more wins, the Giants or Jets, period.
And so Sean's point to me was, I understand we hold ourselves accountable. Are we doing all of them? And I said, well, let's have a discussion about it. I mean,
we should.
I think we should.
Even though I'm going to wear the L because I conceded, I was right.
Okay.
In that case, you were right. Okay. Wait till you hear the Giant win total, team.
That's fine with me. I just think going forward now, new era of Evan and Tiki, maybe when we do something, we do it once. Because I got to be honest, coming in and pulling 16 clips that were the same thing was annoying.
Yeah, but you know what, Sean? When your team stink as bad as our team stunk, you had to create a new conversation around it.
Okay.
You had to.
You know what, Tiki? Counterpoint. Now imagine as a fan sitting through the team stinking and then having to pull the same idea of a clip 16 times today.
Here's the real question. It's not about you. It's not about me. Does the audience deserve or want to hear us held accountable on every prediction we made?
I can't imagine they do.
I don't think they care.
All right, then we don't do it. Well, you know what you can do, Sean? You don't have enough jobs? Either go on social media or you can go into the YouTube chat because apparently Evan and Tiki is on YouTube now, and you can ask them. You could type it out like, hey, guys, do you want to hear all the prediction results or just one or none? Like, where are you at? You could do that in the middle of them saying you ruined WFAN. There'll be plenty of time for that.
You're going to get a lot of I don't GAFs.
Okay. All right. That's fair enough.
All right. Sean will give us that answer coming up.
Just dawned on me real quickly, Tommy has the social media passwords and everything for our Evan and Tiki accounts. I do not.
Oh, that's you better find out. You got to find out the information.
Just realized that, too.
Interesting. Yeah. Work on that.
Okay.
Let's get to your calls, 888-808-1019. Let's go to Peter in Fort Lee. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, gentlemen.
What's up, Pete?
The Jets, so they're like dysfunctional to a point where they need to bring in a veteran head coach that's going to stabilize this situation. I have 3 former Super Bowl champs who have won playoff games with multiple organizations.
All right.
One is going to be Gruden, obviously. I think all three of these will take the job because I don't think they have many options. So Gruden, McCarthy, and the last one nobody talks about is Doug Peterson, who's the most recent champion of the group.
Yeah, he had a bad stint in Jacksonville. McCarthy is going to be interviewed, I think, a lot from all of these openings.
Yeah, I think
they're currently 5.
I think he's going to be a hot candidate.
Right.
John Gruden's fascinating in that will he even get interviews, or is he just going to remain to the side?
I think he knows he's not going to get a head coaching job. I don't think the NFL owners around the league are hot to trot for him. Right. I think fans are, but I don't think the owners are.
Let's go to Eddie in White Plains. Hey, Eddie.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I agree with Sean on this, that it's disgusting that they're bringing back Joe Shane. He sold them on a bill of goods of, a young core of 3-4 players that they have here, and overpaying for free agents, a terrible defense, zero depth whatsoever. He weaseled his way in next to Timmy the nephew, and basically, for the sake of stability, it is not an answer for this. The stability has been to continue losing ways, and unfortunately, if things are that bad, then you have to step down and let people like Chris Mara and Timmy take over. Because if we keep on hearing how well respected these guys are around the league and how great they are, let them step in and show us that. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, I mean, Eddie, it gets complicated if you're firing Joe Shane and hiring your nephew. And so I'm being honest.
You think so?
So I think that the way that it's set up now, Joe Shane came in and brought just a new way of doing things to the Giants. And it had some bumps along the way. Obviously, those first couple of drafts, it was just, how the hell do you draft Evan Neal? Right? Like, what were you thinking with Deontay Banks? Like those type of things. But over the last couple of years, it hasn't felt that bad. It hasn't felt like there's some ineptitude going on here. It's felt like we're bringing some good players in. We're bringing in guys that we know are winning football players and have a desire to be great. And so I think these last couple of you have to respect how it's changed. And it's why when we did our grades on the job that Joe Shane has done, I gave him a B+.
I'm going to give you 2 names, and this is a part of my complication with Joe Shane. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the record. I've beaten that to a pulp with you. Look at the record, and we get it. There's nothing that could change that, but your point is better coaching. There would have been better results. Fine. There are 2 good football players who are free agents this upcoming season. Mm-hmm. Wan'Dale Robinson and Jermaine Illuminor. And I'm obviously leaving free agents out, but I would argue that those 2 guys are pretty critical to the Giants' offensive success. Illuminor has been very solid on the offensive line, and Wan'Dale ended up having a really good statistical year. It is very possible, if not likely, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong here, that both of those guys are not back for salary cap purposes.
Yeah, I think both of them are not back for salary cap purposes.
Thank you. That's tough to swallow.
It is.
When your team won 4 games and was supposedly moving in the right direction, and 2 key players, and in Wan'Dale's case, he's young, he's 25 years old, are not going to be able to be brought back because the cap is in such a bad place.
Okay, so if you have the option, let's just stick with Wan'Dale for a second. If you have the option and you're the Giants, you need to upgrade your wide receiver room, even if Wan'Dale was there. You need an upgrade. You need some better players. You can sign Wan'Dale Robinson for $18 to $20 million a year, 20 plus maybe, or you can draft Carnell Tate. Which one would you do?
Well, why can't I do both? I'm confused. Why can't I do both?
I mean, you could.
I could load up my room. I got Malik Neighbors coming off a torn ACL. What's the problem?
But you also need a linebacker. You also need a cornerback. You also need depth along the offensive front. You need probably another defensive lineman as well.
Wait, hold on. Stop right there. So then wouldn't that argue to keep Wan'Dale Robinson and then use the pick on one of those other aspects that you need to improve your team on. The point is, you're not in a good position to do it because you're not in good cap space. How are you not in a good cap space when you've sucked for half a decade?
They are, though, Evan.
No, they're not.
Evan, they have $100 million in 2027. The way good GMs work, like the Eagles is,
you kick it down.
You kick it down to that year. And this is the whole point of what Joe Schoen sold. If you can't figure out the cap space this year, then Joe Schoen should be fired.
Right.
Because his whole thing about not kicking the money down the line was to leave those years like that. So we see this happen in free agency every year. Don't focus on the allotted amount, which is like 11 million right now before cuts.
20, yeah. It's going to be like 26
It's going to expand, and then the way you structure contracts is a lot of the cap hits then could come when you have $100 million in 2027.
They get pushed way back.
It's a really healthy cap space.
Look,
the Giants actually are.
They could sign Wan'Dale. It would be an oddly structured deal. It's what Howie Roseman does. Every single year when they want to keep their free agents, because they keep a lot of their free agents. Right. But it's because they sign them to these 7-year deals. 3 of the years on the back are void, and so that's for salary cap expanding. The what's it called? Whatever the year, the AAV, the yearly AAV. Mm-hmm. They expand it out 7 years, even though they know they're only going to have that player for 4 years. So they've gotten really creative with doing that. The Giants, they don't do that very often.
Well, but they've also invested, and this is the thing, stop it, Sean. Seriously, don't tell me you're in a healthy cap space situation. They've spent more money on their defense than any team in the NFL.
So what? They have a quarterback on a rookie deal. Evan, they have $100 million to spend in 2027. That matters in 2026.
Compare it to everybody else. Where are they ranked amongst their peers? Where are they ranked?
Evan, you're not
Are they
listening.
top 5?
So you're talking about just...
Well, no, because you have to compare yourself
Evan,
to your competition.
Evan, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but this is where you don't understand the NFL salary cap. I'm serious. No, I'm actually being serious.
Sure.
You're right. If you look at the average out of 2026, there are teams much healthier than the Giants. And if anybody just plain old looks at that number, they'd be frustrated. And I am frustrated with Joe Schoen. But the way you sign free agents in this modern era of the NFL is you manage the cap hits when you have the cap space. Now the Giants actually have a boatload because of Dart being the rookie contract in 2027. They can sign whoever the hell they want this year and structure it that way, the same way real teams operate.
Not really.
That's called healthy cap space.
Not really, because it wouldn't be healthy to keep 2 key players like Wan'Dale Robinson and Jermaine Illuminor, who at least Tiki said, you tell me your opinion, are probably not back next year.
I think they're probably not back because...
Okay, then you prove my point.
No.
Thank you.
I think Jermaine Illuminor is back. I think Wan'Dale Robinson's probably not back because it's just not smart to pay a receiver who's that short, taking that big a beating, and when he could be replaced in the draft, $20 million a year.
It's also not smart to pay Darius Slayton, but go on.
Okay, but I agree.
Right.
And again, this is why I would have fired the GM. The Giants, if they don't sign Wan'Dale Robinson, it's not going to be because they can't afford him in 2027, 2028. It's going to be because they realize...
They need to upgrade.
Gunnar Olszewski had 100 yards receiving as the slot receiver with Jackson Dart yesterday. Proof in the pudding you could replace Wan'Dale Robinson.
He, too, is a free agent, by the way.
Great.
Just letting you know. Let's go to Greg in Cornwall. What's up, Greg? Hello,
Hey,
Greg.
guys. Good morning. Thanks
Greg?
for having me. Happy you guys are still in the rotation here. My 12-year-old son's really going to miss that Cinco de 5-0, though.
You can always rewind on the Odyssey app.
That's the thing. When I was young, I could never listen to the middays because I was at school. But now, all you got to do is rewind on the Odyssey app, and it's the Cinco de Lancho. And I can't wait for the theme song, which everyone will get to hear in about 40 minutes. Anyhow, go ahead.
Yep, very good point. Tiki, love hearing you on that pre- and post-game. I think you do a phenomenal job. And one thing you guys were talking about afterwards, the game yesterday, was you and Papa were saying that you have to get a proven winner in there, and two, that there's still a lot of holes to fill. I know he got the quarterback. I know he did good with the running backs. But Joe Schoen has a lot of work to do. Center, guard. You just mentioned Illuminor. The secondary. How that first year when him and Dayball came in, linebackers. There you go. That first year, we thought we had it with them. Now, looking back, they did this with Dave Gettleman's roster, and they've only gotten worse every year since. So I don't know how I can have, faith, number one, in Joe Schoen rebuilding this, and two, getting the right head coach, because it's a short list of proven winners out there.
Greg.
I don't know why Mike McCarthy is such an afterthought. To me, you got to get him. I don't know if he's got too much authority for Joe Schoen or what.
No, I don't think it's that.
As soon as he walks in the room, he's going to make a difference.
Of course he's going to make a difference. He's an experienced coach. I think, and he's had success everywhere he's been. And he's double-digit wins in Dallas, and he obviously had his run in Green Bay. I think Mike McCarthy is a good option for the Giants. He's just not my first option for the New York Giants. Now, what you said was partly right. You're half right and you're half wrong. when he's talking about the Dave Gettleman roster and what the Dave Shane duo did with that roster. They won 9 games in year 1, went to the postseason and beat the Minnesota Vikings. It was a surprise Coach of the Year season. Yeah, it was Dave Gettleman's roster. That roster is not anywhere close to what this roster is. It was just, they were well coached in 2022. The problem, and this is what I keep going back to, Evan, is that the coaching deteriorated. Right? Dave's was a great player coach. Right? And maybe too much of a player coach because guys start to get away with murder. Right? They did whatever they wanted to do. Abdul Carter sleeping in meetings, not showing up, not going to practices. And Mike Kafka, fortunately, decided to punish him for it when he became the interim head coach. Dave's let people get away with that stuff because he was a player's coach. I think Dave's issue was coaching his coaches. Right? Some of these guys shouldn't have been here. Right, for multiple of the last couple of years. And so those type of hard decisions with your staff, Dave's wouldn't make. And then he stopped disciplining the players. And so they were really well coached in 2022. They were less well coached in 2024 and 25. That's why they stink. It's not because they don't have the right players. This roster, you go do it. Do it person for person from 2021 to 2025. It is a better roster, better players, better skill position players, better offensive line, better edge rusher. It's better everything. So the construction didn't change. The coaching changed.
It is only fitting that the man who I shared middays with for 13 years appears on this program where we begin at 10 a.m. The great Joe Beningo. Coming up in just a few minutes. Evan and Tiki until 2 o'clock and the Carton Show.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
For a team that usually gets it all wrong, the Atlanta Falcons this weekend got it all right. They beat their hated rival in the final game of the year, the New Orleans Saints. It took the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have ruled the NFC South for years, out of the postseason, and then they fired the head coach and general manager, who both needed to go. The Falcons are usually a team we criticize. I give them a ton of credit. I'm Nick Costos.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I left the pizza box on top of my car before driving home. Not smart. Oh, and a semi just turned my deep dish into a thin crust.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply by February 11th and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
This is Jim Orozco from Schwartz Mazda to offer you a holiday greeting straight from the heart. Please let these times bring us closer together. From our entire Schwartz Mazda family to yours, may this holiday season bring you health, happiness, and peace.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Let's go!
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Mostly cloudy with flurries, high 36.
Weather brought to you by Staples. 2026 is here, and at Staples, deals mean business. Like up to $100 off custom print orders. Head into the new year looking good for less. Staples. That was easy. Ends 1/31.
If you're injured in an accident, the Rothenberg Law Firm is on your side. A legendary team that has won billions over 5 decades. The Rothenberg Law Firm. 1-800-624-8888 or injurylawyer.com.
Boomer here. If you love cooking as much as I do, you got to listen up. The Chef IQ Mini Oven is your all-in-one kitchen hero. It bakes, broils, air fries, dehydrates, slow cooks, toasts, and more. It's got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, a color touchscreen, a soft closed door. It even syncs with the Chef IQ app, and pair it with the IQ Sense thermometer for perfect USDA-safe temps every single time you cook. So why not grab yours right now at chefiq.com. Use my name, code word Boomer, to save 30% at checkout.
Salicata here, and wow, are we thrilled with the incredible job CertaPro Painters did on our house. So clean, so efficient, they actually listened to us and even satisfied my wife, which, as you know, isn't easy. If you've been putting off painting because of the economy or tariff worries, don't. Painting your house is the easiest and most efficient way to protect and raise your home's value. Do what we did. Call CertaPro Painters today.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Zona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEBNOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Wake up with Boomer and Gio. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
We hit noon on this Monday with the NFL's regular season finally ending. Mercifully, the New York Jets lose in another pathetic fashion against the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, the Giants win again, which benefited the Jets moving from number 3 to number 2. And joining us right now, a guy I shared this time slot with for 13 years, the great Joe Beningo. Joe, good to talk to you, man. Happy New Year, pal.
Happy New Year, guys. Yeah, look, I want to thank the Giants for winning yesterday. Let me just say this, and I'm very down right now because of this absolutely disaster of a head coach we have who's coming back next year. But before I get into that, okay, I want to thank the Giants. First time in my life that I was rooting for the Giants to win and the Jets to lose. And it worked out perfectly. The Colts lost 2, so we picked up a couple slots on that as well. I think we got the 16th pick from Indianapolis.
Yep.
With that said, how the hell is this coach coming back? I mean, let me just say, this is the worst Jet team ever. I mean, you could talk about the Richie Kotite's 1-win team, Adam Gaze's 2-win team. This was not a professional football team for the last 5 weeks. All the teams playing this weekend in college football on Thursday and Friday would beat the Jets, that team we saw yesterday. That was a disgrace. That was a joke, and I know they're tanking. I get it.
Right.
I get it. Brady Cook is not an NFL quarterback, but, I mean, come on. No interceptions all year, 4 forced turnovers all year, both NFL records. You got beat your average of like 26 points a game over the last 5 games of the year, and you're bringing this guy back?
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
Joe, this is tough because I want to bring him back. And as I give you my points, I have to admit, I have no football reason because this season was a freaking disaster. And everything you said is true. And I was talking to our old producer, Ernie, about this last night as well because he wants him gone, too. And I fully
Ernie wants him
understand.
out. I know. We've been talking about it.
I totally get it. I am just deathly afraid of this franchise going one and done and basically being toxic to any coach that would actually want to come here. And I'd almost rather take the risk that this guy can figure it out in year 2 with more talent because I do trust the general manager, and I think you do too.
Yeah, the general manager I do trust.
I'd almost rather risk that than just blowing the whole thing up and honestly hiring another first-time coach because they're not going to get a veteran to take this freaking job.
Well, yeah, I think you have to think of it this way. So Brian Callahan was fired after a year and a half, basically, right? So he was essentially kind of one and done-ish. You knew, right? You knew, so you moved on. Pete Carroll gets fired after a year. He's one and done. This is a great Pete Carroll, potentially Hall of Fame head coach, fired after a year because you just knew, right? Raheem Morris, 2 years and done. You just knew. Right, I think it's different with Dave's because he got the 4, and who was the other one that was fired? Stefanski. He had obviously a long tenure, a couple head coaches of the years. But when you know, don't you know?
Do you know, Joe? Is that where you're at? You just know?
Absolutely.
All right.
There's no, and let me tell you, believe me. You know, they're set up pretty well. Muji stays, okay?
Yeah.
You set up you set up pretty well with the draft capital. You're guaranteed to get look, there's a lot of people that think Dante Moore is a better prospect than Mendoza. Now, I don't think that. I don't think that for a second. But look, Moore, if he's coming out, and I think he's coming out, you got to take him with the second pick. I mean, you have to. I mean, I don't think there's any question about it. Here's my biggest issue, bro. Is this the coaching staff we want developing a young quarterback? Are you serious? I mean, that the more I think about it, the more I'm just scared completely about that. I mean, come on. And you can say whatever you want. Well, it's not attractive. You know, take a shot at Mike McCarthy. Tiki brought up Cliff Kingsbury. I'm in. You telling me Cliff Kingsbury is not taking the Jet job? If the Jets offered him the job from the offensive coordinator in Washington, of course he's taking
because he hasn't been fired yet from Washington, but it sounds like he might be on the outs. So the best way for him, for landing, he's going to take whatever he can get.
Of course.
Because he still wants to be a coach in this league.
No question. So I'm not, and you know how I feel about Rex. Rex would come here in a second. Rex would crawl here, and I'm telling you one thing.
Oh, he lobbied for it. He lobbied for it last year.
What's that?
He lobbied for it.
And Rex would kick ass and take names. There'd be no nonsense. I would never, I don't care who was, bro, it could be me, you, and Morash on this defense playing yesterday, and we would have been more competitive if Rex Ryan was the coach than what I saw yesterday. That was a freaking disgrace. And I actually had people, not just yesterday, the last 5 weeks, but yesterday was like, come on. I mean, and I had people yesterday who I respect actually saying to me, I talked to before the game, it'd be just like the Jets to win today. I'm saying, well, you're nuts. No way. The team they're putting out there, they got no shot of winning that game. You say whatever you want about Mitchell Trubisky. He is an NFL quarterback.
Right.
I would take him in a second to be the veteran guy to lead into the young quarterback next year. I would take him, of course.
No, I mean, he actually threw the ball pretty well. And he did the first time he played.
Yeah, remember when he beat Sauce earlier this season?
Right. Josh Allen went out for a couple plays, and he threw the ball around.
That's right.
I think that what makes you feel worse, Joe, sorry, this is a dig to the past. Sam Darnold is only the second quarterback in NFL history to win 14 games, 2 seasons in a row.
I saw that.
He did it with 2 different teams. The other one was Tom Brady.
Yeah. Look, it was Sam Darnold. About Aaron Rodgers last night.
Yeah.
I was rooting hard for him, believe me, and I want them to win. I want to see them at least beat Houston on Monday night. I was rooting so hard for Rodgers to win last night because that was the beginning of the end. The fact that wait a minute. The fact that they did not bring him back and then doubled down by giving $30 million to Justin Fields killed the season. It killed our season.
But if they brought Rodgers back, And obviously it would have been
I don't
much
know if
more,
they're making the playoffs. We would have had a season.
We would have been more entertained. I will totally give you that. We probably win 6 games.
Yep.
We don't trade Sauce Gardner for 2 number ones.
Well, we don't know that.
Oh, come on. You think they would have done that with Aaron Rodgers here?
Yeah, I think they would have.
I mean, there's a tough time believing there's an argument that you sign him so you can trade him. Right, you give him a contract.
You're talking about Sauce?
Sauce.
Yeah, but I don't think they would have done that if a 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers is trying to win football games. You imagine that conversation?
Well, I mean, if you've got 2 wins at that point in the season, or 3 wins at that point in the season,
I think they would have been better though. Like to your point, we would have had a season.
Yeah, but how much better?
Not enough.
But you know what, bro? They dump Rodgers for a guy that can't play.
Yes,
that's real. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, you brought in a guy. You know, you heard Aaron Glenn say, "Well, with the right coaching, Mike Tomlin dumped him when he had a 4-2 record with the guy. Right. Come on."
Yeah, and that is the biggest concern. What is the right coaching? Because even with Brady Cook, I mean, did Tanner Engstrand even put him in the best position to succeed? Like, I wonder if Tanner Engstrand's really the right guy for this rookie quarterback that they're inevitably going to draft.
Can't play. Come on, Brady Cook can't play.
He can't play.
But he's talking about that, Joe. He's talking about Tanner Engstrand, the offensive coordinator.
Right. No, I understand.
Is he? Can he call plays? This is the second time, and we brought this up earlier, Joe, that I saw the Jets quarterback have one of the most anemic offensive stat lines in the first half that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, under 20 yards.
80 yards yesterday?
Well, I'm talking about the first half.
Yeah, right.
In the first half, he was 2 or 4 of whatever it was for 11 yards.
Right.
And, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, this is not 1940. Just 2025. How is that possible? You have 11 yards at halftime.
They are the worst franchise in professional sports right now.
Agreed.
And this goes to Woody John. I mean, hey, Woody, you got to wake up. Woody, are you happy what you saw 2 weeks ago when the place is loaded with Patriot fans and they're scoring 6 touchdowns on the first 6 possessions? Are you happy with this? Are you happy with constantly being a disaster, with setting records that are almost impossible to set in this world of football now? Are you happy about this? I mean, Woody, come on. This guy is not. Look, he was a very good player for us, no doubt. And it really stinks that his legacy now is going to be majorly tarnished because he's not an NFL coach. But you look at him on the sidelines the last couple of weeks, he's ready to cry.
Yeah.
He's ready to cry.
Well,
and after the game, he's well, it's all on me. You stink, Aaron. You stink. You're not an NFL head coach. You're brutal. You stink. You're worse than Richie Kotite. You're worse than Adam Gase. You're worse than Lou Holtz. Well, maybe not.
Wow.
But you're right there on the same level as that. You are a disgrace as a head coach. Get the hell out.
How do you think? Remember those weeks after the Sauce and Quinnen trade where they actually competed and they actually won some games? The Atlanta game, which was like a miracle.
How did that happen? How was that possible?
That was my question. How the hell do you think that happened? Considering the team appeared to quit on him at the end, why after those trades? Because you even said it with us, like, hey, I give this coach credit. He's getting him to play, and he was. How did that change so
it almost
quickly?
Sounds like something happened
Well,
that we didn't see.
Well, first of all, they won. One of the games they won against Cleveland was with 2 kick returns for touchdowns. That's number one.
Right.
And that was the only unit that was ever good. The game they beat Atlanta, Tyrod Taylor played quarterback. So at least you had a professional quarterback playing that game. And remember, there was a big fumble on the 2-yard line that set up a gimme touchdown by the Falcons.
Yep.
What happened after that? I don't know. I mean, we were both at that Miami game, all right? And that started the, just non-competitive last 5 games of the year. And it wasn't just because Tyrod wasn't playing and they didn't have a professional quarterback.
Right, they were checked out defensively.
No question about it. Complete. And, bro, you watched the game. How many guys on the defense did you even know were playing on this team?
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
No,
I
it
mean,
was
what?
incredible. Yeah. And the little things, like, how about that 12 men on the field on offense?
Oh,
like,
my God. That's almost impossible to do on offense.
I don't know. Like, the stupid things that continue to happen all season long.
Unbelievable.
Look, it was bad. I mean, the only thing that gives me hope, bro, is the fact that they're picking number 2. They got the Colts pick. They got 2 more picks in the second round. And they got tons of cap space.
Right.
And it looks like Darren Muji knows what he's doing.
Right.
So at least this roster should be 50 times better next season.
Well, they got to really fix the defense, bro. I mean, look, you take the quarterback with the second pick, and then, I would even – let me just say this, though. if Muji looks at a guy on defense and says, wow, this guy, he's a game changer if we bring him in, I would invest draft capital to get that guy. Okay, you stay at 2 for the quarterback. You take more if Mendoza goes 1 to the Raiders, which he should. You take more with the second pick. We'll see. Hopefully he turns out to be the guy. You can always get a quarterback again next year. You got 3 number 1 picks, but I would invest draft capital in getting the best possible defensive player that I can get. I have to tell you, man, because the defense is so bad. We need a guy that's going to come in there and be like the leader on the defense.
But what position is that? That's the question.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah,
Does it matter, Tiki?
If it's a safety.
What if he's Kyle Hamilton?
It's gotta be,
what if he's Troy Polamalu?
Right, it's gotta
what
be,
if he's Ed Reed?
No, you're right.
What if he's that kind of guy?
You're right. Or you got a couple of edge rushers, so I don't think you're drafting an edge rusher. But I
don't know how good they are. How good is Johnson and how good is McDonald?
Yeah.
Are they any good?
Right. Yeah. So if you can get Bain, you take Bain.
Yeah,
right?
the kid from. Did you talk about the kid from Miami?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Or Mesidor, the other kid as well.
Either one.
Good.
Miami's really good defense.
I mean, I think you're right. I think now that I think about it, Joe, if you have one of those guys that everybody wants to call dogs, and you know it, and you see it, and he's a pure leader just by his attitude, by his play, then it changes the mentality of a unit. So, yeah, you're right.
Now, they got to get a big-time coordinator, too. They need a real – now, look, if Glenn's coming back, and unfortunately it looks like he is, you got to get me a real defensive coordinator in here, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, like some kind of a big-time guy. You got to get me that.
Or he's got to put his influence on it.
Well, yeah.
Like, 'cause I'm assuming that a lot of this was Steve Wilkes defensively.
Well, what happened if the Wilkes got fired? It was almost worse.
Yeah, but, I mean, he's still a rookie head coach. It's not like he can completely take over.
They didn't have players in fairness.
Right, they didn't have any. That was not an NFL team we were watching yesterday.
No.
I mean, let's be honest about it.
That was garbage. We're talking to Joe Beningo. If Joe Burrow becomes available, if Lamar Jackson becomes available, I know that you've hesitated about going after a veteran. These are different veterans. They're superstars. Would you have a level of interest?
I don't know, man. I'm not giving up big draft capital for one of those guys. I'm just not. Burrow's had a history of injuries. By the way, that sack by Garrett, didn't that look a lot like Brett Favre doing the dive for Strahan?
Yeah,
I mean, come on. I mean, look, he made no effort to get away from Garrett at all.
True, but the other guy, the D tackle, was coming free too, so he just kind of laid down.
Okay, all right, but
it was similar. You're right.
It was close.
Not the same.
Let's get back to this. And Jackson's had all kinds. Lamar Jackson wasn't the same player. There were plays last night where he would take off for 30 yards and he wasn't doing it. I mean, so he's not 100% healthy either. I don't want these guys, man. I don't want them. I've said this 100 times, bro. They have to bring a veteran guy in there, right? Malik Willis, we talked about him. Somebody like Trubisky, that's fine, to lead into that quarterback. But we got to get our own guy.
Yeah. I'm worried that, and I guess we'll find out in the next 2 weeks because the deadline is January 15th, or it depends when Oregon's season ends, if Dante Moore is going to come out. Because if he doesn't come out,
then if he doesn't come out, here's what we do. No. If Moore doesn't come out, you don't mess around. You take at 2 the best. You take that dog on defense that Tiki's talking about. I don't know who that guy is. One of those Ohio State guys, maybe.
Right.
Maybe the guy from Miami.
You're not trading up. You're not trading up for Mendoza then?
No. I'm not giving up any draft capital.
And then what do you do for QB?
What do I do for QB?
Simpson?
I bring in a veteran. We talked about Malik Willis. We bring that veteran guy in here. And then if Trinidad Chambliss, who is applying for another year of eligibility, and by the way, if he gets it, he's going to stay at Ole Miss. I heard that today, too.
Yep.
Okay? All right? You either draft him somewhere, or you know how I feel about Diego Pavia, okay? He didn't have the greatest bowl game against Iowa. He was okay. He made some good throws. He took a couple bombs for touchdowns. I don't know how good Iowa's a pretty good team, and it's a bowl game. You can't put a lot of stock in it. With that said, I would take a shot at him somewhere in the later rounds where you could still get him, and then I'll worry about if he doesn't work out, I'll worry about getting my quarterback next year.
And here's the reality, and it's sort of depressing when I say this, but it's true. There's a damn good chance, especially with Aaron Glenn coming back, that they're going to be the worst team in football next year. And if they're the worst team in football next year and they end up with the number 1 pick, then Arch Manning, assuming he doesn't force his way to not be a Jet, which you never know.
Either way, even if you do draft some of these guys that you're talking about, Joe, and you bring in some free agents, they're likely to be bad again on defense.
Yeah, of course.
And it's not going to be the talent's fault. It's just going to be they're bereft of talent.
Well, you got to get a real coordinator too. I think obviously, Tiki. Look, we know this. No sport. Coaching in the NFL in football is bigger deal than any other sport.
No doubt.
It's not even debatable.
100%.
And if you get the right guy in there, certainly the head coach, but you get the right D coordinator in there, you'll have these guys playing. And they weren't playing. Again, they're not NFL players. You got to get the roster has to be better. There's no question about that. But you do need it does come back. It comes down to coaching. It really does.
Yeah. Go back to a name you mentioned briefly is Malik Willis, who I think is going to be a hot free agent. I think that there are going to be enough.
Well, we got
teams.
a lot of money under the cap, bro. So we got big money.
How aggressive would you be? Because he's not going to come in and compete for a job. I think he's going to have enough of a market where you sign him and he's your guy. Are you willing to say, you know what? Let's see what this kid's got with a full opportunity?
I still got to draft a quarterback, though. I'm still taking more if he's there at 2. That's me.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't bring. Maybe you bring another guy in that knows he's not going to. That all he is that stopgap guy.
Right.
But you got to get some kind of a veteran guy in here. You cannot have the kid. We can't do what we did with Zach Wilson. We can't do what we did with Sam Darnold.
With all of them, Joe. They do it with all of them. They
did it with Sanchez, and they got away with it because they had a real team.
Yeah,
they
but
did.
that was so long ago, Joe.
Right.
It was a different kind of era of football.
Right.
Yeah, you could disguise an inferior quarterback in that era.
Right.
You had a good run game, good defense, good offensive line.
Yeah.
Quarterback.
Yep.
I mean, it mattered, but it didn't really matter.
It worked out with Mark Sanchez. I think what bothered me at the time was his competition was Kellen Clemens. It wasn't a real competition, and I always liked.
Who was Zach Wilson's competition? That's the
I
point.
agree with you. That's my point. And
so
remember,
you're right. You need to bring in a competitor.
Sam had Teddy Bridgewater as competition, and then they traded him before the season even started and was like, all right, Sam, take the job. I think all of those guys would have benefited from sitting for just a little bit.
Sure. Well, look, I said, we get the rookie young quarterback. He can't play right away. You're making a mistake. You got to at least do what the Giants did with Dart, at least.
Well, I mean, in retrospect, Joe, I think Dart should have started right away.
Okay.
Only because he looked so good in the preseason.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
He looked good in camp. He looked good in the games. It's like, what are we waiting for?
Right. The Giants, I'll tell you right now, if you're a Giant fan, you should be pretty happy. You're going to get a real head coach in here. You're going to get because it's a very appealing job.
Yep.
You got your quarterback already. You got guys on offense, all right? You got Neighbors. You got Scatterboo. You got guys that are on defense. You got Abdul Carter. You got Burns. You got Lawrence. You got guys there, okay? And you get the right coach in here. You got the 5th pick in the draft, so you're going to get another prime player at number 5. And the division. I know the Eagles are really good, but the division is not great.
Yeah, it's to be.
And
it's
you
to
can
be
make
had.
a run quickly.
Right. It's to be had. That's for sure.
Yep.
When you look at the NFL playoffs, it'll be fun to sit back, relax, not get too frustrated watching football for the next few weeks.
Right.
It feels as wide open as it has been in a long, long time. Where do you lean towards what you think we're watching in the Super Bowl in a couple weeks?
You're going to think I'm crazy, but I'm taking 2 teams that are wild card teams. I like Buffalo.
Yep.
And I like the Rams. Those to me are the teams. I think the Rams will annihilate Carolina. They lost to them a couple weeks ago. That is not going to happen again. They will blow the doors off the Panthers on Saturday afternoon. And I think Buffalo. I think this is it. This is
totally
the year
agree
for Josh Allen.
Totally agree.
Jackson's not there.
Yep.
Mahomes isn't there. I'm not sold as good as they were. Look, you give credit to Liam Cohen. You give credit to Lawrence. They've been playing great, no doubt. Buffalo goes in there as an underdog now type team, and watch out for them. Watch out for
100% agree. It feels like the year they take a step back will be the year they break through, especially with those teams not involved in the postseason. So.
Yep.
By the way,
100%.
I just read something random that may make you chuckle a little bit.
What's that?
The Milwaukee.
David Stern stepped down?
No, but not quite.
By the way, what a joke. The guy say this too. What a joke the Mets are. They're not signing anybody. And I said this to you before. This is all about casinos and not spending money. It is a disgrace what the New York Mets are. And they will not sign any big-time free agents. buckle up, Met fans, and get ready for a very disappointing season.
Well, we've already had a very disappointing offseason. The Brewers just hired Daniel Vogelback to be their hitting coach, so that made me laugh.
Really? Daniel Vogelback? Well, you know what? Most of the time, look, some of the great hitting coaches, Walt Riniak, Charlie Lau, these guys couldn't hit.
That's true. That is true.
Well, he could hit. He could run into one every now and then.
Yeah. Well, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, he ran into a hamburger more than he ran into home runs.
Now, can I ask a stupid question? Why are you guys standing up? Are you got a new studio there, or what?
I think I've created
They take your chairs away?
No, chairs are here.
My back is so screwed up
Is that right?
every time I sit down, Joe, my leg just becomes awful.
Tiki's standing up too.
Yeah, because it's weird if I'm sitting. Let me sit and show you how weird this looks.
No, I understand.
Me standing and him sitting, I guess, is strange.
I understand.
Yeah, like I'm the adult.
Oh yeah. That looks. You know what?
Yes, Professor Roberts. Yes, please speak to me.
You know what? That is true. I mean, I don't know. I thought maybe they're on an austerity program. Maybe they took the chairs away.
Maybe that's that's a fair point.
I am trying to get standing desks. I want a standing desk in here.
Yeah. Is that what you want?
Give me the option. Get a high chair. I can stand or sit if I want.
Nah, you're right.
That's the way
right.
it should be. By the way, Jonathan Gannon fired as the Arizona Cardinals head coach.
He's out too?
He is out. So there are 6 openings in the NFL right now.
Yeah, and Aaron Glenn stays.
I was going to say.
Everybody's gone. Aaron Glenn stays.
That's right.
The pain.
Great talking to you, Joe, as always.
All right. Happy New Year. God bless, guys.
Cheers, Joe.
The great Joe Beningo, who you can hear every Saturday at 5 a.m., and his podcast, the Other Pain Podcast, which is tremendous. Joe B on Mondays, and his call-in with Evan and Tiki is brought to you by Approved Oil. Visit freeztherate.com, HL Gross Jewelers of Garden City, Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you, and by Audi Manhattan, where luxury meets excellence. We'll get back to your phone calls. We'll examine new coaching vacancies and the debut of the Cinco de Lancho. Will it be any different than the Cinco de 5-0? We're about to find out.
Just forgot to do one. I got to get one done this spring.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. From Connecticut to Maine, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Davis right side Francis, fake the 3, dribble drive, step back wing jumper, good.
After playing Ohio State on Friday, Rutgers has a quick turnaround as league play continues. Hi, this is Jerry Recco. Join myself and Austin Johnson for all the action as Tariq Francis and the Scarlet Knights play the Oregon Ducks tonight with tip-off at 7 p.m. on your home for Rutgers basketball, The Fan, and always live on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio apps.
Hey, it's Tiki here. I'm constantly on the go between The Fan, taking care of my kids, various events, meetings, football games. The list goes on and on and on. But one of the things I value most is feeling safe and also knowing that my family is safe when I'm not with them at home. That's why I turn to our great partners at Sloman's Home Security to install their innovative ShieldLink system in my own house. The Sloman ShieldLink system is a smart home security solution that easily and seamlessly combines safety, convenience, and most importantly, peace of mind. Whether I'm home or away, I can manage anything right from my phone. My security system, home automation, my entertainment system, everything is right there at my fingertips. Our security lighting turns on as soon as we turn our alarm system on. So whether we're home going to sleep or away, we know that we're safe and our home feels protected. Just give them a call at 1-800-ALARM-ME or visit online slomans.com to learn how Sloman ShieldLink can give you peace of mind in your home and when you're on the go, just like me.
FanDuel is giving all customers a profit boost every college playoff game day. That means more chances to level up your picks and turn big moments into even bigger wins. So ride with the favorite, or maybe take a shot on the underdog, or build a parlay. Then apply your profit boost and go for even bigger winnings. FanDuel is the best place to get into the football action all playoff long. And when you win, you'll get paid instantly. So visit FanDuel.com/New York to get your college playoff profit boost today. That's FanDuel.com/New York. Now, we all love the app around here. It is safe and it's secure and has all the bet markets you want. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Ho, ho, ho. Quality is very important here at the North Pole. You see, I check my list once, twice, all done.
Well, Santa, quality's important to us at Nissan, too. We actually test every model thousands of times. There's the frame twist test, shaker test, corrosion test, drive load test, tug-of-war test, towing test, off-roading test, practical strength test, splash test, corrugated road test, chassis dynamics test, water intrusion test, extreme heat test, extreme cold test, rough road test, jump test, curb impact test. And physical parts tests.
Save on J.D. Power's #1 mainstream brand in new vehicle quality at the Nissan year-end event. Get 0% APR on the 2026 Nissan Rogue, 2025 Murano, or Pathfinder for well-qualified buyers. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary, subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 1/5/26.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
RU fans, it's basketball season. Make sure you catch all of the Scarlet Knights hardwood action this season on WFAN. Scarlet Knights basketball is presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together.
Orgavattazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber. Now's the time to score quality, affordable health insurance through Get Covered New Jersey. Every plan includes free preventive care prescriptions, emergency services, and more. And 8 in 10 people get financial help. Visit getcovered.nj.gov.
This is Igor Telnik, General Manager of Tasca Mazda in Yonkers, to offer a holiday greeting straight from the heart. Let these times bring all of us closer together. From the entire Tasca Mazda family to yours, may this holiday season bring you joy, health, happiness, and peace.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you are facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL, 866-323-7529, 250L Saddlebrook. Diana Magala, licensed in New York and New Jersey. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Put WFAN in your contact list. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
So if you're trying to keep track at home, and I'm trying to do the same, it is Black Monday, which is nicknamed that because head coaches get fired the day after the season is over.
Yeah, not because some of them are black.
Some of them are black. That is true. That is true. I think we now have 6 vacancies. Remember, there were 2 prior to this weekend when Brian Daboll got fired, and obviously the Titans made their coaching change. So it is time for the Fan Focus brought to you by Chef IQ. So tell me where I'm wrong. Kevin Stefanski is out, so the Browns have an opening. Raheem Morris is out. Atlanta has an opening. We just found out that Jonathan Gannon is out. Arizona has an opening. We also know that Pete Carroll is out. The Raiders have an opening. That goes along with the Giants and the Titans. Am I missing anybody?
No, that is it.
That sounds
Which of those jobs is most appealing?
The Giants.
It's not even close.
It's the Giants.
Not even close. Now, which of those coaches do you think coaches right away again?
Of the coaches that got fired?
Yes, all the ones that just, as a head coach, not as a coordinator, because I'm sure Daves is going to be a coordinator.
Daves will be a coordinator. Gannon probably will be a coordinator.
Gannon will be at DC, yeah.
Pete Carroll, I think, unfortunately, is done.
Yep.
Maybe a front office role or something of that nature. It's clear. It's clearly Kevin Stefanski.
Agreed.
Clearly that guy.
Callahan will be quarterback coach, coordinator, maybe a coordinator. I doubt it, but he'll be somewhere, I think. Who was the other one?
I already forgot.
I forgot now.
Jonathan Gannon.
We're missing one.
Raheem Morris.
Raheem Morris, right. I think Raheem's a coordinator again.
I agree.
Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to get
on my
another
dream
shot.
team.
Yeah, Tiki's built a dream team for the Raiders. There were reports about Tom Brady having interest in Brian Dable and Brian Flores, and Tiki's added Raheem Morris to that dream team, and that would be a hell of a coaching staff.
Right. And he could take less because he's got 3 more years of making $4 million.
That's true. He's getting paid very well. All right, before we get back to your phone
hold on.
calls.
The Fan Focus is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com.
There you go. Thank you very much, Sean. This is a big moment because for 2.5 years, while we were lucky enough to be broadcasting between the hours of 2 and 6:30, at around 5 o'clock, we had a segment called the Cinco de Lancho. It was wildly popular. People loved it. They loved hearing Sean's lists. We had this committed fan, a 13-year-old listener who made his favorite lists and his least favorite lists.
Thomas Burke.
And there was some concern about, well, with these new hours, what happens to the Cinco de Lancho? And that same young man, Thomas Birch, renamed it for us the Cinco de Lancho. And what I love about it is it could be any time that's around lunchtime. I don't know about you. I'm freaking hungry.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Because this is usually when we would come in and I'd have lunch.
That's right. So for us, it's a big adjustment, and 12:30 seems like a reasonable time for lunch. So ladies and gentlemen, the series debut of the Cinco de Lancho.
Sean Moraes in the booth. Somebody hide the castle. Optics flying, phones ringing, Evans yelling, no! Tiki's laughing, chaos cracking, nobody's in control. It's Cinco de Lancho. Bam! Crunch! Let's go!
All right, Cinco de Lancho, brought to you by Helix Wireless, connecting everything everywhere.
Can I just say I'm glad you chose the Al Cintron version?
Yeah. Bam, crunch, let's go.
Let's go!
Here we go!
Number 5.
I should have actually given the topic before hitting that, and away we go.
It's old news, Sean. It's okay.
The 5 reasons yesterday's win actually sucked for Giant fans.
Oh, come on.
Well, it did.
Here we go!
Number 5.
You sat through the worst losses imaginable all season, including Denver, including Dallas, including Chicago, to get the 5th pick in the draft, in a draft the Giants don't have a 3rd-round pick either.
Okay, who would you have taken at number 2? That you can't take at number 5.
I would have traded to get more assets.
Okay,
That's
what if
why I'm
Dante
focused.
Moore doesn't come out and then nobody wants it?
I still think at number 2, you can trade back just like when the Texans trade up for Will Anderson. I think the best player, there's Travis Hunter traded number 2. I think there's always room for trades.
What I already love about this Cinco de Lancho is everything Sean says in this list is going to elicit Tiki to be pissed at him. Every time he's going to stop.
That's
fine.
fine.
What about this? What about that?
This is classic player versus fan mentality here.
Yep.
All right.
Number 4.
I believe winning these last 2 games means Dexter Lawrence now will be traded because how the hell else are you getting these assets? They have no assets in the draft.
Well, this is something.
They do, man. They just have one less pick.
I don't think they have a 4th rounder either. I have to look that back.
No, I think they do.
The reason
I think they just don't have a 3rd.
I get that
Maybe they don't have a 7th.
I get that you won 2 games, and I understand that, but the reason you don't have the asset is because you traded up to draft Jackson Dart, who everybody's in love with.
You can't forget that.
No, I agree. The other reason we don't have the assets is because Bobby Okereke decided to have 2 interceptions the last 2 weeks when he's done diddly crap the whole year.
All right, keep going.
Number 3.
I sat for the 2nd straight week. No slapping hands on touchdowns, no fist pumps. And that is no way to enjoy a football game. Think about it. The Giants have 3 wins the last 2 years where fans couldn't even enjoy the win.
Okay, did you feel good about it, though?
No.
The touchdowns, I mean. When Daniel Bellinger catches that ridiculous shovel pass from Jackson Dart after he avoided the non-block blitzer and flips it out, and then he breaks a tackle and scoots 29 yards for a touchdown, you didn't feel a little bit happy about that?
I was in awe of what Jackson Dart did. Immediately, it was like a one-night stand.
There goes the ability to lose.
Tiki was a one-night stand. Yep, exactly. Right. I grabbed my heels and I shuffled out.
Lose, because at some point I know Sean was thinking, man, this is good. All right, here's what's going to happen. They're going to get a stop, meaning the Cowboys. They're going to get a touchdown, and Jackson Dart's going to throw a pick six, and they're still going to lose.
Right.
It's going to feel good, but it's going to suck.
How about Joe Milton?
It'll be great.
How about Joe Milton just does what he did last year for the Patriots? That would have been nice. All right, here we go.
Number 2.
We didn't see the Giants beat Dak Prescott for a full game. Now, it counts. Dak doesn't have his win streak anymore, but it would have been sweeter if Dak stayed in. The Cowboys tanked the game so we couldn't trade the picks. How's that allowed?
This reminded me of when the Jets finally beat the Patriots a couple of years ago. They ended the streak, and it was so hollow because it was the end of a bad Patriots season, and much like this, it was the end of a disappointing Cowboys season in which they took the foot off the gas.
I'm surprised that Brian... what's his name? Callahan.
Schottenheimer.
I'm surprised he didn't want to get to 500.
Yeah.
Why was he okay being sub 500?
And they left losing.
Yes.
At the half. But still, the Giants collapsed in the fourth quarter all the time. What does it matter to you, Dallas?
I was surprised by that.
Yeah. And that's what doesn't make sense. I know it's different stakes for the Giants, but it's just crazy. Every year we get this point. It seems like Dallas are allowed to do this, and the Giants can't.
Teams do this all the time. Eagles do it.
So why don't we? Why don't we?
I mean, you did. How many good players didn't play yesterday?
Right. But I'm even saying that. We didn't hurt. By sitting Dak and everybody else,
right.
The Cowboys hurt the Giants' ability to draft.
Correct.
They didn't hurt themselves. They hurt the Giants.
Well, they helped their ability because they also improved their draft stock by losing. But in the Giants' case, weren't there plenty of good or decent players sitting yesterday?
Yes, there was. But
so then what are you arguing?
I think there was legitimate injuries, except for maybe Theo Johnson.
I mean, Theo was at a Knicks game, even though he had a quote-unquote illness.
Yeah.
Probably got ill watching that game, too, by the way.
I mean, I still saw Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, and Abdul Carter getting after Joe Milton.
I get to number 1.
All right. Remember, it's my segment, Evan. I'll handle it.
Number 1.
And the number one reason yesterday's win sucked for the Giant fans is that had they lost, the Raiders winning on a 60-yard field goal to beat the Chiefs would have felt like the most euphoric moment of the Giants season. And I think back to all the times the Giants lost on 60-yard field goals. To have the Raiders potentially lose the number 1 pick on a 60-yarder would have been actually like a great taste in your mouth to leave the season as Giant fans watching a 60-yarder go in that you celebrate.
Did you hate watch the Raider-Chief game knowing the results that they needed, specifically from the other 4 games, happened so that, yes, a Giant loss would have flipped it to number 1? Did you watch the game with like a hate watch view?
I want to make it clear. My focus became on the Washington, Arizona, and Jets games because those mattered more after the Giants
Your focus
won.
was off the Jet game after about 30 seconds.
Yeah. So I wouldn't call it a hate watch. It was more of a can Michael Mayer score to hit a parlay thing. But no, I mean, by the end, when you got to the end, they lined up for 60 yards. I went, this is so perfect for the Giants season.
Here's the problem, and I want to give credit to the great Tommy Smokes of Barstool. You aware of Tommy Smokes?
Yeah.
Did we have Tommy Smokes on because he claimed Blake Snell was going to be a New York Yankee?
No, I think that was that Marty Mush?
Oh, it was Marty Mush. My apologies then. I don't want to confuse them. They're very different people. But Tommy Smokes put out a fascinating tweet yesterday afternoon that I think represents why a lot of Giant fans are angry about winning yesterday. And I want to read it to you because you have been hard fast on, hey, look, stop with this tanking thing. Just win. The Giants win on Sunday, move their record to 8-30 in their last 38 games.
Yeah, I saw this.
4 of those 8 wins have been in week 17 or 18 when they've been long eliminated from playoff contention and only playing for draft positioning. And so the point he's making is that, yes, it's nice to win, but it seems like the only time the Giants are winning is in situations in which it hurts their draft positioning.
Yeah.
And so I get it, because, I want to see my team win too, but I don't want to see them necessarily win in those situations. How about you beat the Bears or you beat the Broncos? How about you win the games that matter early in the season? And I think that's where the anger comes from, that it feels like we so rarely win, and then when we do win, it serves us no benefit. If anything, it's the opposite.
But I think that's circumstances. I don't think that is... I don't think that has anything to do with anything. I think that's circumstantial. And what I mean by that is you go look at that Denver Bronco game. The Giants should have won.
Yep.
You go look at the Green Bay Packer game. The Giants could have won.
But they didn't.
I understand this. And again, it goes back to why the head coach is no longer the head coach. That's why Mike Kafka is likely not going to be the head coach. This team has been coached poorly. The Shane Bowen experience for the last 2 years has been mind-numbingly dumb over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, hell, we're over here lauding Charlie Bullen as the interim DC simply because he can dial up an unblocked pressure. I mean, honestly, the Giants barely had any early in the season. Barely. And Bullen gets a few, and Abdul Carter starts to play well. It's like, all right, well, maybe this is what happens when you have good defensive coaching. So, to me, this was all coaching that was part of the issue. And some players and not living up to the standard that they should have been playing at, including Russell Wilson and Deontay Banks and others. But still, like, they lost those games not because they didn't mean anything. They lost those games because they just don't know how to win.
I agree with you, and I'm not saying this was done
right.
Purposely or spitefully. It just sucks.
So it's circumstance.
Yeah. But the circumstances suck.
This is the issue, because you see the locker room celebration after the game, and fans, like for me as a fan, it feels like, even if it's not that way for players, it's a shared experience of players. You want to see the locker room going nuts, and you from your couch want to go, this was great, invested in. And fundamentally, off of that tweet the last couple of years, you have seen relief and exhilaration from Giants players that put in the work their ass off, and won games at the end of the year. And we see that, and I respect players for that, but it sucks that fans can't share in that, and there's something fundamentally broken about that.
And this is why, and I've been saying this for a very long time, and I'll say it again, it's now a very popular opinion. They obviously need a lottery or some kind of system where losing doesn't benefit fan bases at the end of the season. Like, what we saw yesterday sucked, but what sucks more is when we're having these discussions in October and November.
Correct.
And you can mark my words, because I already know what's going to happen come October. The Jets are going to be 1-5. Maybe 0-6, and Sean is going to lecture me, you're better off losing. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm, a season ticket holder. I'm going to these games. I want to see my team win. It's an event every Sunday. And he's not wrong with what he says.
Yeah, by the way, I gravitated this way. I wasn't like that at all in October. I got to that way like you had said at the end of the year now the last couple weeks.
And I think that's a little bit healthier as a fan.
Yeah, but it still sucks.
Oh, it sucks, but it's worse when we're having these discussions in September and October. And by the way, I'm going to change what I just said. It won't be October we're talking about this with the Jets. It's going to be right away. Like, we're going to sit here on the Friday before the season starts, and there are going to be Jet fans who are going to say, we're better off tanking. Can you imagine going through a whole freaking season where it's like we're better off losing? That's bad enough in December. You want to do that from jump?
No, never.
No, it's fun.
You can't have the league that way.
But that's where the league is headed.
I know, but if the league gets that way, then it's going to lose what makes it special.
So I think this commissioner's got to get ahead of it.
He does.
The NBA is not perfect. Look, I still deal with the same things like yesterday with the Net Nugget game. We're better off losing, but we're winning. Like, it's still not perfect even with a lottery, but it's better. And it needs to change. But good debut on your Cinco de Lancho.
Thank you, Evan. We'll work to get better going forward.
Every day right around lunchtime. Let's get to some of your calls. 888-808-1019. John is in Staten Island. Hey, John.
Hey, what's up, fellas? It's always good to hear Joe B on the mic, because
he's the best.
He's the best. And glad you guys are here. I have an issue with the Giants in terms of the dysfunction that's running rampant in this organization. For one, for us, any of us to talk about the Giants that they're one of the better, desirable jobs for a coach to go to is basically nonsense in my opinion, because we're probably one of those teams out of those 6 teams that has been the worst for the longest amount of time. And it has to come from the top down, right? And for us to continue to keep Shane in his position after watching Hard Knocks, after the way they handle Saquon Barkley, the way they handle Love, the way that they handle even the Daniel Jones re-signing, and then eventual 1.5 years later, you get rid of him. I mean, the dysfunction is crazy. And on top of that, a lot of the players that you champion as being good players have been here and been a part of the losing for the amount of time that we have them. I have zero faith that this organization has anything promising going forward other than the quarterback, maybe, but I'm still not sold on the quarterback.
Well, I would challenge you on the part about the guys being here for a long time and losing, because I think that's what's changing. If you listened to Jackson Dart, like, his post-game press conference basically said this is unacceptable and it's not going to be this way going forward. But Tyrone Tracy hasn't been here, a part of multiple losing seasons. Cam Scadaboo hasn't. Brian Burns has not. It's only been one. It's the second one. And Abdul Carter has not. The two guys that they brought in one from Miami, Paulson Adebo and Javon Holland, they have not been a part of these years of losing. And a couple of these linemen have not. Marcus Bowe has not. Right? Malik Neighbors has not. These guys, they're young. I think the reality of this, and this is why it's, to challenge your first point about this not being a desirable job. Of all those other jobs, who has their quarterback in place?
Well, let's take a look. The Arizona Cardinals clearly do not.
No.
The Cleveland Browns, maybe?
I doubt it.
I mean, I think Shedeur deserves a real opportunity next year, but that's going to be up to the new head coach, and I think that one could go either way.
Yes.
It's a maybe. The Las Vegas Raiders are likely to have it if they deem that Fernando Mendoza is the right guy picking number one.
I mean, you can't say that they have it if Fernando Mendoza's a bust.
Well, no, but what I mean is that's the guy that the coach would be drawn in by. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about appealing jobs.
Right.
Because, look, he's not proven. Of course he could be a bust. I mean, to a degree less so than Mendoza, Jackson Dart isn't proven. Right. But yet we all love him, and we're excited, and we think that's appealing.
He had one of the best rookie years in a while from a lot of different metrics.
I just wish he won more games like Tyler Shuck did. But
I completely agree. And if he had better coaching, if Kellen Moore was our coach, maybe he would.
Yeah. I know that's a soft spot for some Giant fans because they get very angry. That's like the new thing to get angry about.
The Rookie of the Year.
When someone says Tyler Shuck is better than Jackson Dart or
the right's been righted or the wrong's been righted.
What do you mean?
Because the odds have completely flipped and Shuck's a complete long shot for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
But that doesn't stop Ralph Vacchiano, who we all love and respect, saying it is far and away Shuck's award.
Love Ralph.
Which so alienated Giant fans yesterday.
Love Ralph.
So pissed.
Put on a Saint game.
Yeah, exactly.
With their defense and their schedule. Go ahead.
Anyhow, my point is the assumption is the Raiders have their quarterback.
Right. Because of the number one overall pick, it's you get to set your course.
Atlanta, maybe.
And Tom Brady's there, by the way.
You're right. Atlanta with big Michael Penix Jr. I don't know. I don't know what the view of him is going to be.
You know what? I do think that's a desirable job.
Atlanta? More so than the Giants. I mean, they did win 8 games in back-to-back years, so not that bad.
Well, that's my point. Yeah. Like, they've won. You have, in theory, your quarterback of the future, even though there's still a lot for Michael Penix to prove. But Bijan Robinson is one of the best runners. He's a stud.
Yeah.
Michael Pittman has turned into at least he had a decent year. Not Michael Pittman. What's his name?
And the division, too, by the way, makes
Kyle
you
Pitts.
think
Kyle Pitts, the tight end.
You've got a better shot.
Yeah, 100%.
So, okay, so you don't
Atlanta is probably
up there.
Is creeping close.
If we're ranking, and Tennessee, obviously, with Cam Ward, I don't want to leave them out.
Yeah,
but if we're going to try to IFO this thing and say, all right, what is the most appealing job? The Giants are towards the top. To me, they're number one, but I get your point about Atlanta and maybe Vegas, especially because there's such a new beginning right now. You're starting from scratch in a way.
I would say Giants, Atlanta, Vegas. Tennessee is probably next.
And then Cleveland, Arizona?
Cleveland, Arizona.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Let's go to Brian.
I think at Cleveland, you do got Myles Garrett, though.
No, I get you. As long as he wants to be there.
You got the DPOY.
Yeah, but I think he wants to get the hell out of there.
That's true.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian.
Hey, what's up, Brian?
All right, guys. I got a maybe not a perfect fix for tanking, but I have a significant improvement.
All right,
tanking.
let's hear it.
All right. Teams that make the playoffs, you stay, the normal way you draft, reverse order of finish at the bottom half of the draft.
Right.
The teams that don't make the playoffs, they draft in order of finish. So if you were going to be the first team out of the playoffs, you're going to pick first. You're going to finish in last place. You're going to pick, 15th or 16th or whatever it is.
It's an interesting idea, and just so people could have perspective on this past season would lead to the Minnesota Vikings picking number 1 overall, the Lions picking 2, and guess who's picking 3rd? The Jets.
Yeah. Still?
The Colts.
Oh, that's right.
The Colts pick, not our pick.
I just think that pushes
the bad team, making it more difficult to get out of being bad.
It just makes them worse because they're never going to get a chance to get the top players.
Yeah.
It's interesting to think of it that way because it incentivizes you once you're out of the no, you can't even because a lot of these teams aren't out of the postseason until late. Right? They're good teams. They just happen to like the Baltimore Ravens. Mm-hmm. Right? They're a good team that had some tough issues this season because Lamar Jackson couldn't stay healthy.
They'd be picking 5th overall under that format.
Yeah. And they're a good team.
No, I get it. It would be, in a weird way, unfair to the really bad teams. But here's the truth about the really bad teams, and I speak as a fan of one of them. It doesn't matter how high you pick. You usually find a way to suck.
Yeah.
Think about it. The Jets haven't made the playoffs in a million years. You got to go all the way back to 2010, leaving Pittsburgh in January of 11. Craig's youngest kid was born that day. Obama was in his first term. Donald Trump was a reality star.
Yeah.
Like, it was a million years ago.
Truly was. Different world.
And yet, picking as high as the Jets consistently have done hasn't changed that. Let's go to Aiden in Morristown. Good afternoon, Aiden.
Hey, how you doing? Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Awesome.
So I have an
Appreciate
opinion about the Giants. Thank you. I have an opinion about the Giants tanking that I think Tiki will like.
Go ahead.
So you start out last year, they beat the Colts in Week 17. A little bit of a frustrating game, missed out on the number 1 overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
But then the guys we got in that draft, Carter and Dart, I think that worked out pretty well. Then you go back the year before. They beat the Eagles last game of the regular season. Still worked out pretty well with Neighbors. And then you go back even farther. I know this was before showing. 2019 against the Washington Commanders, the Chase Young Bowl. Daniel Jones throws 5 touchdowns and they win. They end up missing out on Chase Young, but they get Andrew Thomas, who I think is a little bit, I think it's definitely better than Chase Young.
Yeah, well,
so I just think that's something to consider.
Thank you, Aiden.
The lesson, and appreciate you calling, dude. The lesson is that it doesn't matter where you pick, it's who you pick, and then how you develop them.
This is very different, though. Because normally
it's different because of the potential to get more draft picks.
100%.
But as I was talking to, who was I talking? Jess. I was talking to Jess in the hallway. How did I feel about the Giants winning versus what all the fans want the Giants losing so that they can get more draft picks? You still got to pick good players.
Oh, 100%.
And so you could pick 3 picks in the first round or whatever it may be, and all 3 of them stink, and you could because you traded away the pick. Or you could pick a guy in the first round, a guy in the second round, and that third round. And that third round, or you don't have a third rounder, but let's say second or fourth rounder, those guys become your best players. Like that happens in the NFL. But it takes smart drafting to get that done. Yeah, I was a second-round pick.
No, but
I wasn't a first-round pick. Amani Toomer was a second-round pick.
But what you're saying, and I want to bring in the Jets because I want to pull a Sean where everything comes back to the Giants. Here's what's so depressing about what you're saying. You're saying, hey, look, you still got to pick the right players. The Jets got those extra picks by trading Pro Bowl caliber players in Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner.
Yes.
And it's all lottery tickets. What Giant fans are explaining
you should be depressed about this.
Of course it's why when the trade went down, I wasn't celebrating. Now, I think it was the right thing to do, looking at where they are.
You get to reset the clock on paying those guys. Well, no, because you already paid them, and you got to get the cap.
But you got to find them.
Right, but now you need to go find other Pro Bowl players.
Right, and the Jets are doing that off of trading really good players. You guys would be doing it off of just simply sucking. And that's the point. That's where I get the Giant fans saying, hey, it would have been huge to be picking number 1. Not because of a specific player, but because you were going to sauce it. Like you were going to get possibly more than what we got for a player you would get for simply sucking. I think bringing in the Jets has probably explained your Giant fans' point better than any way you've been trying to do it. Anyway, you, Sean, or Big Mac have explained it. The Jets gave up players to get what the Giant fan was simply asking for by sucking.
Right, and I totally agree that all these picks and rookies and everything are lottery tickets, but like anything with playing the lotto, I want more of them. And that is why I wanted to lose.
And guess what? You're never going to win. You play the lotto, you're never going to win.
That is true.
And the off chance you're going to be that overweight housewife from Ohio.
Well, I am that. First of all, so offense. And the Bears feel like they won the lotto with that trade with Carolina.
Sometimes you do. I mean, honestly, sometimes you do actually win the lottery. It's just rare. We'll get back to your calls coming up, 888-808-1019. Plus, we will check in on how accurate our predictions were at the beginning of this football season. It is Evan and Tiki for another hour, and then the debut of The Carton Show with Craig Carton and Chris McMonagle.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
No excuse for the Buffalo Bills to not make the Super Bowl this year. No Patrick Mahomes in the AFC playoffs. No Lamar Jackson in the AFC playoffs. No Joe Burrow in the AFC playoffs. And the Bills opened a road favorite this weekend at Jacksonville. The Bills absolutely have to make it this year in a watered-down AFC, and if the Bills don't make it, they need to move on from head coach Sean McDermott. I'm Nick Costos.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you can put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I took the gas hose out of my car's tank. Ooh, not smart. And I drove off while still attached to pump number 3.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Need your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Need your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This is your college football postseason update, presented by Factor. Eat like a pro. College postseason drama is heating up, and this weekend powerhouse programs delivered when it mattered most, with top seeds punching their tickets and surviving must-win matchups to keep their championship hopes alive. As the playoff picture tightens, every drive, every decision, every moment matters. Just like the athletes leaving it all on the field, Factor meals fuel performance with pro-level nutrition delivered to your door, ready when you are. Factor. Eat like a pro.
Boomer here. You know, when the game's on the line, you need a winning play, and for electrical pros, that's Cooper Electric. With 70 locations all across the tri-state and easy online ordering, my friends at Cooper Electric have the inventory and expertise to keep your projects moving. From tools to wire to lighting, Cooper is the playbook for pros who want to win every job. So make the winning play. Visit Cooper-Electric.com today. That's Cooper-Electric.com. Cooper Electric. Our knowledge is electric.
My name is Maria. Okay, I lied, it's Mary. But I'm feeling more European after my European-style holiday on MSC Cruises. The ristoranti, restaurants, nightlife and shops in La Galleria. And of course, American touches, like a sports bar and water slides. Bellissimo. Okay, this is a problem.
Book now and cruise from $199 plus up to $250 onboard credit and kids sail free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Who's the man in a white plumbing van?
Roto-Rooter Man.
Who's the dude who clears your drain of food?
Roto-Rooter Man.
Who's the guy to keep your basement dry?
He's the Roto-Rooter Man.
Who's your friend for a pipe on the man?
Roto-Rooter Man.
If plumbing, drains, or water cleanup are the plan, better call your Roto-Rooter man. Roto-Rooter, we put water where it should be.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action to get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
On this Monday where head coaches are fired, I need to repeat something about a football team that fired their coach today and is facing...
Sorry, Miss Jackson? Is that what you needed to say?
Oh, yeah, sorry, Miss Jackson. That's a good feeling. That's right.
I thought you were going to time it up, like, you know.
Oh, no. I used to work with a woman. Her name was Dana Jackson, and that was her theme song. So whenever I hear this song, I think of her. She was a wonderful woman. I didn't mean it like we did anything.
Right.
We just, we worked there. I liked her. She was very fun.
Evan, when you heard the song, did you feel like an outcast?
Yeah.
Oh, because Outcast doesn't?
Yeah.
I picked up on it. Thank you very much.
Good dad joke. First one of 2026.
We're trying.
Nice.
The Las Vegas Raiders decided to remove Pete Carroll as their head coach. So Pete Carroll went one and done. I decided, because I kind of knew Pete Carroll was going to be fired, to compile a list of Las Vegas Raiders head coaches and Oakland Raiders head coaches since John Gruden's departure in 2001. So that encompasses the last 26 seasons.
Didn't he go back?
He did go back, so he'll count as a name. How many different head coaches have the Las Vegas Raiders had in the last 25, soon to be 26 seasons?
I'm going to say at least 8.
You're going to go with 8?
I'm going to go 8.
By the way, that number is the New York Jets. The Jets have had 8 coaches since that same time period.
So they can't be worse. So 2001.
Since John Gruden left in 2001.
Remember, he went to the Bucs, won a Super Bowl.
How many different head coaches have the Las Vegas Raiders had? And Tiki's guess was 8, and my answer to him is no, but that's the amount of coaches the Jets have had.
So they can't be worse
in that
than
time
the Jets.
period. Can't be worse than the Jets. Okay.
Oh, they're definitely worse than the Jets.
Really?
Because the Jets had Rex for a while. I'm going to say
wait. I'm thinking, I forget, like Josh McDaniels didn't make it as...
Yeah.
Oh, I got the list. Don't
Tom
worry.
Cable and company.
I'm going to say 10.
I was going to go 14.
You're going to go with 14.
I'm going 10. I revised.
The answer is 14. You nailed it, Sean.
Bam.
And I'm going to go real quick because this is an unbelievable list. And I'll tell you the name and how long they were there.
Are we going to know all of the names?
We love football. I know all the names.
I know.
So I would think so, yeah.
The average, the casual fan.
Some will be forgotten. Some will definitely have been forgotten. Are you ready?
Yep.
Bill Callahan, 2 seasons. Norv Turner, 2 seasons. Art Shell, another return, 1 season. Lane Kiffin, 1 season plus 4 games. Tom Cable, 2 seasons plus 12 games. Hugh Jackson, 1 season. Dennis Allen, 2 seasons plus 4 games. Tony Sperano, 12 games. Jack Del Rio, 3 seasons. John Gruden, 3 seasons plus 5 games. Rich Bisaccia, 11 games. Josh McDaniels, 1 season plus 8 games. Antonio Pierce, 1 season plus 9 games. And Pete Carroll, 1 season.
Wow.
Is that not unbelievable? You talk about, like,
how
turnover.
do you have that little patience? I'm trying to think of the one out of all those that you said that should have lasted longer. And it's and I'm biased, but it probably was Antonio Pierce.
Probably.
Because he had the 1 season, the interim title that he got, and he changed the attitude, the culture of the team, and then he was trying to fix it the next year. Like, get rid of he's weeding out the guys who he didn't want, and they fired him in the process of doing that.
Right.
It was almost unfair. And now that I think about it, back on it, why did they do that?
Why did they get rid of Antonio Pierce?
Yeah, why did they take him as an interim? And then if you're going to move on from him, just move on from him.
Right, don't keep him. But I think there was a groundswell of emotion in that room to keep him.
Who cares about emotion? You don't care about emotion. So you kept them for a reason, but then you fired them for what?
Because they weren't good.
Yeah, but
then they went out and got Pete Carroll.
But I think they were intentionally not good.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to get rid of the non-buyer-inners, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so to fire him in the process of that, only to go get Pete Carroll, who you knew was like kind of out of it. I mean, he was teaching, wasn't he? Teaching at UNC?
6 of the 14 coaches never completed a second season.
Wow.
Only one coach got a 4th season, and in fairness, that coach was not getting fired. It's John Gruden. And John Gruden got fired for non-football reasons, as we know.
Well, he had a $100 million contract, didn't he?
He did. And to John's credit, because while I'm not enamored with him as a head coach, the Raiders were getting better every year.
Of course.
And it was slow,
right.
But the Raiders it felt like they were on their way towards getting better.
That's why he had a 10-year deal.
Yeah.
I mean,
he knew it was going to take time.
Of course.
But if the emails don't come out and there's no off-the-field stuff, Gruden may get 6 years of that contract until finally, hey, you better start winning. So as the Raiders look for a new head coach, keep in mind, in the time period dating back to 2021, they have had 14 different coaches. The Jets have had 8. Wow. The Browns have had 12.
Wow.
And the Giants have had 9. The Giants have had more coaches than the Jets since 2001, and that's with Tom Coughlin being there.
But the Giants, no one and dones?
No, but they had a 1.5 and done in Ben McAdoo.
Yeah.
But they had the ranking of 2s. They had 2, plus the interim coaches really brought the number up. In fairness.
Oh, yeah, right.
Steve Spagnuolo counts.
Right.
Kafka counts.
Right.
So, yeah, as the Raiders are looking for a new head coach, keep in mind that they go through coaches every 15 seconds, basically. Let's get back to your calls. 888-808-1019, the number. Charlie is in Queens. What's up, Charlie?
Yeah, how you doing, guys? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, I got a football question for you, and then I got a baseball question that may be good for Evan because I know he's the baseball guy.
Well, Tiki's a baseball savant, so I would not take that for granted, but go ahead.
Yeah, I noticed lately coaching in the NFL, all these coaches seem to be going on 4th down. It seems like every play. It's almost like punting is no longer part of the game. Is that the analytics? I mean, like they ruined baseball. They're going to ruin football now?
100% it's analytics. And sometimes guys manage it right. Sometimes they get a little overzealous, and it costs them. Dan Campbell's a perfect example, even though I love him.
Yeah, he seems to go 4th down every play, just about. And, and I understand analytics is a guide, but it shouldn't be, it's almost
Charlie,
like punting is no longer part of the game.
But you know what's funny about this, Charlie? Like, the difference between baseball and football in this regard, and I know beauty's in the eye of the beholder, going for it more than you don't is fun and exciting.
Yeah. I agree with you.
So how is that bad for football? How is it rooting the game?
It's good for football because it makes it more interesting and exciting. And as a fan, usually when you're at, like, I don't know, say the 45-yard line, the plus 45-yard line, it's like it used to be, all right, we're just going to punt, pin them back, get them at the 1-yard line. Now it's like, go for it. And if you don't make it, who cares? Well, but it's an exciting part of the game.
1,000%.
The challenge is doing it too often to where it costs you games.
Well, speaking of which, last night, Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens. How about, and this is so forgotten because the Steelers won because of the kicker, the rookie kicker missing a game winner from 45 yards.
Loop.
How about, Tyler Loop, how about the fact that Tomlin didn't kick the field goal at the end of the first half?
Right.
I mean, and so in real time, because my night was so weird last night, I was exhausted, and I actually fell asleep at halftime. So after this decision, I passed out. Luckily, one of my sons woke me up, and I watched the entire second half via DVR. So I saw the whole thing a few hours late, of course. But when
you saw the missed extra point.
I saw, Lamar
Jackson hitting Isaiah Likely for this crazy catch.
And then John Harbaugh getting conservative and saying, hey, I'm Herm Edwards. I'm going to not play to win the game.
And then the missed call and the missed field goal at the end.
What was the missed call and the missed field goal?
They had the illegal jumping thing, and the refs didn't call it. The field goal, they should have gotten a retry.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Can't jump over the...
I missed that one.
Major issue,
This is what happens when you're watching something on DVR and you're very tired. But I actually liked what Tomlin did. I like that aggressiveness.
Well, I mean, it's early enough in the game.
Go for it.
You can get away with it.
The play call
I don't necessarily love it, but you can. Yes, that
you can't
becomes my issue.
flip it to the outside when you need 1 yard.
That becomes my issue, and it's been my issue with the Giants sometimes when they go for it on 4th down. It's like I get the decisions, like the execution or the play call and the execution. it just bothers me.
Yeah, that part is different. I like the idea of them going for it, but Our last caller brings up, analytics have ruined baseball. It's a completely different discussion, but I could understand, and I agree with it, that, hey, starting pitchers not going deep into games, that's bad. Going for it more aggressively in football is exciting. Whether we like the move in real time or not, it's good. Like, I'll tell you, we did this a year ago, maybe in the middle of February. I said, give me your most unpopular sports opinion that you really have. And I told you this like 2 years ago. I don't know if you forgot. I said we should ban field goals. Just ban them. You got to go for it every time.
I do remember that now that you say it.
So take it a step further.
Well, it makes it much more interesting once you get into the red area.
Yeah, well, it makes it interesting all the time. What if you took away punting, field goal kicks, everything? You just got to go. You got to score a touchdown.
Punting would make it, I don't know.
Imagine that. I know that's crazy. 4th and 15 from your own 5. What are you supposed to do?
You know what they should do?
What?
They should do that in the preseason.
Just to try it out?
100%. That's not a crazy idea because the games don't matter.
I think in the preseason there is no such thing as a crazy idea.
So ban punting and ban field goals.
You like that?
So that you learn as a team, all right, we're 4th and 8 from our own 25-yard line.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
We got to go for it.
Let's figure out a play call to get this play.
Obviously,
and then if you don't miss it, your defense has got to really respond.
Yeah, you really got to back it up.
And you have a chance to stop them because you're not giving them 3 points.
Yeah. Charlie's point about
that's interesting.
Charlie's point about more guys are going for it and it's based on analytics, like it's true and it can drive you nuts when it's your team.
But
overall it's fun.
I think it's analytics based, but I think it's also kind of ego based.
Think so?
I don't think it is analytics. I'm not discounting analytics at all because it's obviously becoming a huge part of how we look at football and how we talk about football. These EPAs and all these other things, DVOAs, et cetera, which most people don't understand or even care about. But the teams care about it and they look at these things. But I also think that sometimes coaches have these egos. Like I don't care what the analytics says. We're getting this 4th down. We're going for it.
Who went for the most 4th downs in the 2025 NFL season?
Who went for the most
Was it Dan Campbell again?
Well, before you tell us the answer, a part of me wants to say it's a team that just trailed a lot because they have no other choice. And since the Jets trailed more than anybody, is it possible that the Jets are towards the top of the list? They're losing every game by a lot.
Yeah, but I don't remember.
They almost have to go for it on 4th down.
I felt like they were risk averse, though.
They at times they were. See, the problem with Aaron Glenn is it was inconsistent. There were times in which they were risk adverse. There were times in which they were aggressive. But my point is that can be a misleading stat because if you're losing a lot in games, you're forced to go.
And I also
down.
know that at one point it was Dave's. So I'm going to say the Giants.
You're going with Giants? I'm going to go with the Las Vegas Raiders.
It was the Giants.
Oh.
It was mentioned several times on the Saturday doubleheader whenever they were talking about going for it. Nobody went for 2 more than the Giants.
Yeah.
Here's the issue. I don't think it was risk averse. You know what it had to do with? How many games the Giants had to coach because they could not kick a field goal past 40 yards?
Well, that's true, yes.
Right.
That's true. Like yesterday afternoon.
Well, I think that's why. Because I remember hearing the stat earlier in the season. Not just at the end. Earlier in the season, they said they went for it a lot.
Yeah, They couldn't kick a field goal versus the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Remember the Denver game with Jude McAtamney sucked too?
Yeah.
It's funny, though. Then they have a kicker the last 2 weeks. And
I know.
it's no
they
problem.
found a kicker.
Got a call on Saul.
Saul's good, man.
Meanwhile, yesterday in the Jet-Bill game, the reason the Bills went for 2 at 27-0 is their kicker got hurt.
Right.
Like they weren't trying to rub it in. It was just that sometimes injuries force you have to make those kinds of decisions. Let's go to John and Maspeth. Hey, John.
Let me tell you something. The Jets need a pass rusher, and hear me out on why.
Yeah.
I'm more impressed you made it to the
long-
midday, John. I'm more impressed with that.
I know.
I love it.
Listen, I'm a loyal, evident Tiki fan, all right?
I love
Where
it.
you go, I go.
Appreciate you, brother.
Anyway, no problem. So hear me out. So all season long on the McDonald's app, when the Jets get a game with a sack, you get a free Big Mac. I'm in the drive-thru line before. There's no coupon for the free Big Mac. I'm like, where the hell is it? I look at the box score. No sack yesterday. No free Big Mac.
Oh, you
what
just
the
assumed-
hell?
you just
Don't
assumed-
draft the pass rusher.
You just assumed
I had
they
to pay
got
full
one?
price. I had
Wow.
what? I had to pay $6 for the damn Big Mac. You know, come on, man.
I got to tell you, John, I had no idea about that promotion. So I don't know the Jets screwed the fat people too.
Just drive up to McDonald's driveway and just assume that they got a sack?
Yeah, he was waiting.
Come on.
He was waiting for his discounted Big Mac. Here's the good news. You'll get Big Mac in about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it's the Carton Show with Big Mac, Chris McMonagle. So you get a free Big Mac coming up.
I like that. There's plenty of endorsements to be had there.
I mean,
100%.
Absolutely.
That's why I sold him when we had him on. Whatever that was, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but when we had Craig and Big Mac on, they had not decided how they were going to refer to Chris McMonagle.
Yes.
Was he just Chris? Was he McMonagle? Was he Big Mac? Was he C-Mac? Was he a guy who's allowed to talk every once in a while? Like, what's his name? And it wasn't decided. So I don't know if it's going to be Big Mac. We'll have to find out. You better tune in to 2 o'clock.
My point is, it should be Big Mac because McDonald's will come screaming.
It's a great point. That is the first thing I'm very excited about for 2 o'clock. Like when Craig says hi to him, what does he refer to him as?
And what time? 2:07?
That's not fair. 2:00. Actually, there are no updates, so it's going to be right at 2 o'clock.
2:06.
I'm going to say it's immediately.
Yeah, no, it's immediately. Sean's just being a jackass.
Just because we didn't talk to you for 15 minutes.
I just know Chris has been out there since 6 o'clock this morning stewing for the show.
So here's what happened behind that. Craig and Big Mac went on with Boomer and Gio this morning, right? Little crossover fun. And my understanding is Boomer and Gio were like, yeah, anytime you guys want to come on. Like, no big deal. Like, you just tell us, we'll make it for your work, which is very classy on their part. And Big Mac's thinking to himself, boy, I hope it's 9:30 in the morning because I'm coming in, so I hope it's as late as possible. I'm not on the air till 2. And Craig's like, how about 7 a.m.? So they were on as early as humanly possible. Craig's got other things he's doing. And Big Mac is standing in the newsroom just waiting around.
I got in my car exhausted and went, they're in already?
Right.
I couldn't believe Chris's day.
So, short-term prediction. What will Craig refer to Chris McMonagle as the first time he introduces him? Is it a simple Chris? Is it McMonagle? Is it Big Mac? Is it C-Mac? How is he referenced to start the show?
I think he's got to say Chris McMonagle.
Full
he's
name.
got to say full name because the afternoon drive is just getting introduced to him for the first time.
So he's going to go full name?
Yes. Even though he's done some fill-in stuff, but
okay.
I'm going to say full name.
Full name. Sean, how does he refer to him?
A swerve, a new nickname is introduced.
Really?
The Mac Man.
No, stop it.
He's not old enough to be the Mac Man.
Hey.
That feels like you're talking about an old man.
Craig's an old soul.
We got
Chris
the
is an
Mac
old
Man.
soul.
Yeah.
Hey, Mac Man, what do you got? I'm going the non-obvious here.
That doesn't flow either.
And also, Jody McDonald's the Mac Man, isn't he?
Not anymore, he ain't.
I'm kind of swayed by Tiki that Craig will initially give him the full name introduction before he settles into a nickname. So I think it's going to be the full name, but I'm going to go with he's going to stick with Big Mac. Actually, you know what? He's not going to go Big Mac. It's a different show. He's got to change it. I think he's going to go with just McMonagle. Just go last name. Just McMonagle. Plus, it's a way for Craig to show that he can pronounce Chris's name while Mike Francesa couldn't for the 12 years they worked together.
Good call.
So it'll almost be a dig at Mike like, you see, I can pronounce his name. That's my prediction.
Good call.
Thank you very much. Let's go to Mario in Long Beach. Hey, Mario.
Hey, Mario.
Hey, how you doing? Well, welcome to the new spot.
Thank you, brother.
Good to be back. What's up?
Yeah, so listen, I got real quick. I got two things. This is what I would do with the Jets. I'm glad you spoke earlier, and your ex-partner, I don't know.
Joe Beningo.
He got on. Yeah, Joe. Joe got on, and he said, I would definitely go with Rex Ryan, and I'd let this guy go. Now, the only reason I'm letting him go, Tiki, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, everybody laid down for this guy. Even if he's not a good coach, they weren't playing hard.
Right.
That's on him.
Well,
I can't let that go.
I think this is the Evans, what'd you call it, special kind of
awfulness.
Special kind of awful. Yep. That's what we saw the last 5 weeks. And it was, I can't say it was intentional, even though I get the sense that it was intentional. Not that they weren't playing hard on defense because they didn't want to, but you start Brady Cook because he's not good at quarterback.
Yeah, they were tanking. You can say it.
They were tanking.
Yeah.
But I also know that teams that need to lose for draft positioning also have a bunch of players that should have some pride. And you see it with the Giants.
Yeah.
But I did not see that at all with the Jets.
I think the answer, keep this in mind, the New York Jets' close to the season was one of the worst stretches of football ever recorded. And that's not hyperbole. Ever. That's backed up by fact. Like this
facts.
Yes.
136-point differential.
Yeah. This 5-week stretch, which is bad of football as you'll ever see. And it's great to ask, why did that happen? I think it's a confluence of events. I think it's A, they're not talented.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's B, the team gave up.
Yeah.
I think it's C, there was strategic tanking. So I think when you take, we're not putting our best players on the field, because clearly you're not when Brady Cook starts. And I had no problem with it. I wanted to see what Brady Cook had, and clearly we saw it. He's more inaccurate than Tim Tebow, as I tweeted out yesterday.
Deferred winning, by the way, Evan.
So whatever you want to call it. So I think when you take the combination of those things, the aspect that they're not putting their best players on the field.
Yep.
They don't have a lot of talent. And there was a lot of quit at the end of the season. Like, where are we going? The players see who the quarterback is. They see what's happening. And I think when you put it all together, you get that stench over the final 5 weeks that we all witnessed.
Right.
And that's what led to it.
Right.
More of your calls coming up at 888-808-1019. And we will see who is most accurate with the preseason predictions on Jets and Giants win totals. It's Evan and Tiki for another 40 minutes, and then the Carton Show with Big Back, Chris McMonagle and Craig Carton.
I'm Pat Boyle, here to help you beat the books with Westwood Lawn Sports. I'm going against the grain to kick off Wild Card Weekend in the NFL playoffs. The Rams are double-digit favorites on the road against the 8-9, backed into the NFC South title Panthers. Will the Rams overlook them again like they did a few weeks ago in Charlotte? Surely not. Will they most likely have Devontae Adams back? Probably. That's okay. Bryce Young has proven he can rise to the occasion against good defenses. I'm going to hold my nose and take the points with Carolina. I'm Pat Boyle. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply by February 11th and get your application fee waived. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes, along with more than 135 degrees and certificates in fields like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. Gain the skills you need to achieve your career goals. Get your application fee waived through February 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Salicata here, and wow, are we thrilled with the incredible job CertaPro Painters did on our house. So clean, so efficient, they actually listened to us and even satisfied my wife, which, as you know, isn't easy. If you've been putting off painting because of the economy or tariff worries, don't. Painting your house is the easiest and most efficient way to protect and raise your home's value. Do what we did. Call CertaPro Painters today.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Visit your local Kia dealers to discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. It's the perfect balance of quality, dependability, power, and style. Learn more at kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires.
At Citizens, we help make sense of your money and all your money questions.
Do I keep renting or finally buy?
Do I plan for a vacation or plan for a renovation?
How big of a nest should my nest egg be?
If money talks, what's it say to me?
Is cash still king?
Wait, when did a dollar slice go up to $3? Whatever money questions you have, Citizens has the answers. Make sense of your money at citizensbank.com/made-ready. Member FDIC.
FanDuel is giving all customers a profit boost every college playoff game day. That means more chances to level up your picks and turn big moments into even bigger wins. So ride with the favorite, or maybe take a shot on the underdog, or build a parlay. Then apply your profit boost and go for even bigger winnings. FanDuel is the best place to get into the football action all playoff long. And when you win, you'll get paid instantly. So visit FanDuel.com/New York to get your college playoff profit boost today. That's FanDuel.com/New York. Now, we all love the app around here. It is safe and it's secure and has all the bet markets you want. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
When it comes to buying Continental winter tires at the guaranteed lowest price, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire. Plus, when it comes to getting more free services, when you buy Continental winter tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire. So, for the best deal on Continental tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire. Because nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
We're here with attorney Mark Miner of the personal injury law firm of Zalman, Schnurman, and Miner. Mark, winter conditions can make walking treacherous. What responsibilities do property owners have in regards to snow and ice?
Well, all property owners must keep their property in a reasonably safe condition. When it comes to snow or ice, this means that within a reasonable time after snowfall ends, All walking surfaces must be made safe.
Now, what must be done to make the property safe?
All snow and ice should be removed. If all snow and ice cannot be removed, then ice melt or sand should be applied.
Do you handle many cases involving snow and ice?
Absolutely. Slipping and falling on ice can result in terrible injuries.
If someone is injured in an accident, what should they do?
They can call us at 1-800-LAW-LINE for a free consultation. We can quickly determine whether there is a claim worth pursuing, and there's never a fee unless there's a recovery.
If you're injured in an accident, call 1-800-LAW-LINE. That number again is 1-800-LAW-LINE.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is here for the holidays. Enjoy a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. It's got everything you need to keep your holiday season running. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead directly on the Dunkin' app. After all, the holidays run on Dunkin'. No substitutions. Participation times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
This is Igor Telnik, General Manager of Tasca Mazda in Yonkers, to offer a holiday greeting straight from the heart. Let these times bring all of us closer together. From the entire Tasca Mazda family to yours, may this holiday season bring you joy, health, happiness, and peace.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ senses a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released third-generation Chef IQ Sense at chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
Hola, amigos! It's the big noise, Brad Evans from BetMGM tonight. Listen Monday through Friday starting at 6 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports as we cover the biggest sports stories from coast to coast. Get insights on the NFL playoffs, college basketball conference races, and more. Download the Odyssey app now and listen from anywhere. BetMGM tonight, live and interactive, presented by BetMGM. Tune in, Team Huevos.
Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Talk sports here. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Paramount Plus to stream every NFL on CBS playoff game.
You guys know I'm busy as heck. Cheer competitions all over the country, juggling 6 kids. I'm always on the go. I value safety and knowing that my family is safe when I'm not around. That's why I turned to our partners at Sloman's. I recently had the Sloman's Shield Link installed in my home, and I got to tell you, this thing is unbelievable. Combines safety, convenience, and peace of mind, and I can handle it right from my phone. Sometimes Brooklyn wants to come home from school, and maybe I'm getting home a little bit late. I get stuck in traffic leaving the city. If I need to open the garage, I can just open it for her right on the Sloman Shield. The most beautiful thing that I love about the Sloman Shield Link system, and it connects to everything from my garage door opener, the lighting, Alexa, the doorbell camera. I can turn on music before I walk in the house so I can get into that groove when I get home. Experience the future of home security and automation with the Sloman Shield Link system. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME or visit Slomans.com. That's Slomans.com for the Sloman Shield Link.
So one thing I do take pride in is that when we make predictions around here, we save the audio and we play it and check how we did. Sometimes they're very long-term predictions like what contract will Juan Soto get? And we do it 9 months prior. Or what date will Pete Alonso sign? So today's a big day because the football season is over and we made a lot of predictions leading into the football season. So I wrote down a whole list. Sean did a great job pulling all this audio, but you tell me what you want to hear or what is not worth hearing, okay? So on April 28th, right after the NFL draft, I made all of us predict the Giants' win total. I also did that on September 5th, the Football Friday before the NFL season started. And then I also did it again in the middle of the season to see how the Giants and Jets would do over their final 11 games. So
I think the one right before the season is the most pertinent.
Right before the season?
Yeah. That was done at American Dream at the Giants Fest there.
That was done correct at American Dream on September 5th. So let's go to our...
feels like forever ago.
I mean, my God. And you want me to depress you? So that feels like a long time ago.
Yeah.
What if I told you the NFL draft is further away ahead than we are from when the season started?
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is not...
That's crazy.
That shows you how far the draft is from now.
That means good weather, too, is that far away.
The Knicks will have played in the postseason by the time we get to the NFL draft. The Mets and the Yankees will have played a month of baseball by the time we get to the NFL draft.
By the way, have they done anything yet? Either one of them?
There are Yankee rumors, which are getting people excited, which we'll talk a little bit more about tomorrow. And with the Mets, nothing. It's like crickets. All right, let's go to our prediction desk, Sean. So let's go back to September 5th. What do you got?
Okay, so I just need to know, are we eliminating Tommy from this?
No, I'm very loyal to Tommy.
Let's hear Tommy.
He's a part of the show, and he's a part of the radio
really
station.
wrong, we can really make fun of him.
All right,
and he can't push back.
So I'm going to start with Tommy because this seems like a jumbled mess. I have Tommy's Giant from that.
All right, let's hear it.
I think the Giants win 6 games this year.
6 games. All right, they won 4 games, so not that bad. Well, not too terrible.
Okay.
You all right over there, Sean?
I'm okay. Oh, I got Tommy's Jet total now.
Okay.
The Jets will have 4 wins this season.
4-13. Wow. He basically nailed it. 3-14.
Yeah.
I do like that.
Good job by Tommy.
I think I was more optimistic with the Jets.
You think so?
I can't remember now. I really don't.
Okay, well, we're going to do me because that's the next one I find.
Okay.
So here we go. Here's me on the Jets.
The New York Jets will go 4-12-1.
I love how you threw the 1 in there.
Right.
But again, very close. Like, I know Tommy and Sean have been known to be Jet haters, and they clearly are, but sometimes the hater is right. And you were a little bit too confident in the Jets because they obviously won fewer games.
Exactly. All right, here's my Giant win total. I just want to remind everybody there was a crowd there of Giant fans.
So 2 weeks ago I said 6. I've said 7 all day. The New York Giants are winning 10 games.
Hold on. Sean, pause that. Did you start the 6-7 thing? That was way before the 6-7 thing.
You know what? You're right. Maybe I was on
cow.
it. Tiki, there's a million clips here, but I'm glad you said that. There was another 6-7 moment for you that I want to find as well. Maybe it's within this clip, but we'll find it.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we had a lot of 6-7 on our mind that day.
6-7.
So you ended up going from 6 to 7, and you settled on 10. Is that what you said in that
10.
clip?
Yeah.
Play that clip one more time. Let's hear it again.
So 2 weeks ago I said 6. I've said 7 all day.
6-7.
The New York Giants are winning 10 games. We're back.
I love the cheap pop that he wanted to get.
We're back.
That's what all that was about.
Right.
So I'm going to give you credit. You really thought they were going to win 6 or 7 games. Like,
Yeah.
you just were in front of people, and you got like...
There was a big crowd out there.
Yeah, I
too.
was feeling the energy. Remember, I was like 24 hours away from going down to D.C. for the opener where I promised I was bringing a win back with me. Didn't happen.
All right. Who else you got?
That was also when they told Tommy to stop wearing the start dart thing.
That's right.
That's true, yeah.
That's right.
And
Which
he should have left it on.
Should have left it
Should
on.
have started.
Now they have no problem with you wearing dart stuff. All right, Tiki's Jet win total from that day.
I think the Jets are going to finish this season.
Yes.
6-11.
6-11.
So 3 games off.
Yeah.
More optimistic than both Sean and Tommy, but 3 games off. All right.
All right, and then I have Tiki's Giant win total from that day.
The Giants will be playing meaningful football in December. I think they're going to win 8 games.
Wow, that was a rough
Meaningful
one.
football meaning.
For the draft.
For the draft.
Yeah, you were the furthest off. If you want to count Sean's 10 prediction, I guess that's worse. But the Giants won 4 games for those that are just tuning in. And I remember I was down on the Giants, and I took a lot of crap from you guys.
Yeah.
But I don't specifically remember the win total. So go ahead, Sean.
All right, we'll go Evan Giants first.
I wrote down 5 wins for the New York Giants.
There you go.
You were optimistic, man.
I was a little bit slightly optimistic. 5-12, they go 4-13. That's clearly a win for me. How about the Jets? I'm afraid to know what I did with them.
And here's Evan on the Jets from that date.
So I'm at 6-11 with the Jets.
Yeah, it's not horrible.
I guess it wasn't. Yeah, I guess I wasn't as optimistic as I thought. 6-11. All right, so you don't want to hear any of the other predictions? Actually, there is a prediction I pulled, and hopefully Sean will be able to find it. It's actually for Sean, because Sean Morash made a big football prediction on that same show, or around that time.
Wait a minute. Before you finish, was this in that big chunk and I was supposed to cut it out of there?
I don't know. You don't have the clip?
Well, I may. If it was in the big chunk, I don't.
No, it's not in the big chunk. It's a specific Sean prediction about a team that would make the playoffs this season.
Okay.
You picked a surprise team to make the postseason. And to show you that I am a fair and balanced guy, a lot of times I'm accused of only playing clips that make us look bad. This is a major win by Sean. I'm not being sarcastic.
I mean, the only one it could have been would be either Jacksonville or Carolina.
Yes. Do you have the Sean Morash successfully picks the Carolina Panthers to make the playoffs?
Unfortunately, at this moment, I don't.
Oh, man. Now I got to check my library.
It's probably in that big thing that you told me to pull short things out of, and I just focused on the Jet Giant.
Hold on, I'm looking at my... No, I don't have it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I tried to do you a favor.
What was the reasoning? Just because you thought...
I identified...
the division? Because the division is
Division stunk, and I identified Carolina's end of the way they finished the year before. We're all talking about culture wins and everything.
Yeah.
That they were building something, and I thought that Carolina would be a surprise playoff team.
I got it for you. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Sean Morash before anyone else picking the Carolina Panthers.
It's not worst the first, but I do want it on the record because I think it's important. I do have a surprise near worst the first playoff team.
Near worst the first.
I believe the Carolina Panthers are going to the playoffs.
That's a big one. That's an impressive one.
The late surge last year from Bryce Young and his sit-down coming back, and I think they've been so under the radar. Nobody cares about them.
Right.
They are the definition of like Denver last year, a team nobody sees coming open back end of the NFC.
Right.
Maybe the South gets two teams in. Give me the Carolina Panthers in the playoffs.
How about that?
Wow.
I mean, I was wrong on getting two teams in, but
I mean,
that's all right.
It's all good.
And then
you got the Carolina Panthers.
And then finally, I have an L for Tiki because
thank you.
Picked the Giants to win more games than the Jets, which he was right about, but then midway through the season, was defeated and gave up on it. And because he gave up on it, a caller requested on Friday that Tiki were an L. So I don't think it's the worst punishment. So at least for the last 20 minutes of this program, which I've been told is on YouTube. So you can consume us now live on YouTube. Though for reasons I'd rather not get into, I'd almost prefer you listen on the radio. Because I still think that's how, the ratings work. But whatever. Like, if you want to watch it on YouTube, great.
Well, maybe they should evolve the ratings. I'm just saying.
That's true. Maybe before this year is over, that'll even change. Maybe it's already changed. I don't even realize that. So Tiki's wearing an L for that.
And because I'm standing, you can actually see the L.
It's a good-looking L.
I'm just saying.
That's the original
When we
L.
sit down, you can't see the L.
That is true. But
I'm standing, you can see the L clearly.
And the L he's wearing, we have numerous L's, and this is, of course, for any time that you gave an opinion or said something that is worthy of wearing the L. This is the original L.
The original.
This was designed by, was it?
Brooklyn and Tegan designed it.
Both
Tracy made it.
Okay. Wow.
But Tracy made it.
And it's got the Giant colors.
Yes.
And so Tiki is proudly wearing his L.
And it's got my Run DMC chain, too.
Yeah, you look very cool.
Look dope.
You really do. All right, let's go to Sonny in Malvern. What's going on, Sonny?
Hey, Sonny.
Hey, guys. How are you?
We're good.
The long season is over, but we got optimism for the next year. Anyway, listen, I think I had the Giants at 6 wins, only because I thought, like most people, the Giant defense would win some games, be a top 5 defense, and I knew Wilson would stink.
Right.
So there you have it. Anyway, as far as the win yesterday, I'm glad the Giants won. Listen, most fans unfortunately want them to lose for that extra pick, but they're still going to get a top pick. Obviously, they'll still get a linebacker or a safety from Ohio State. They just won't get that extra first rounder.
Right.
As far as the coaching going forward, I wouldn't paint yourself in the corner and say I want an offensive coordinator type of guy, because look at the greatest coaches of all time, Parcells and Belichick. They were defensive-minded coaches, and they worked with Brady and Phil Simms. So I think keep an open mind, bring everybody in, bring the guy with experience, and the guy has to have connections as far as coaching staff. And I would go with either Stefanski, McCarthy, or Harbaugh would be at the top of my list if Baltimore releases him or he leaves. And I think there's a chance, guys, because listen, I don't think he's been there 18 years,
yeah.
And he's thinking he can't get over the hump with Lamar Jackson. So what better way than go to an organization like the Giants, who are a proud organization, and with a young quarterback like Jackson Dart. So I think that may be a real strong possibility, guys. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think first of all those candidates are really good.
Yeah.
Like, if we're sitting here in a month or so, whenever they announce their head coach, and it is either Super Bowl winning head coach Mike McCarthy Super Bowl winning head coach John Harbaugh, or Kevin Stefanski, who's a 2-time NFL Coach of the Year.
Yeah, 20 and 23.
I'd feel really good about all three of them. My one worry about Stefanski, and maybe I'm making too much of this, is going immediately into another job.
Yeah.
It doesn't worry as much with a John Harbaugh, but with Stefanski, there's a little, is it better for him to sit back and observe for a year and maybe learn from the mistakes that he made at the end of his Cleveland tenure?
Yeah, I think that matters if it gets really contentious and it's like an obvious fire. Meaning you've lost your way, you've forgotten how to coach, and people are doubting you. Take some time to reflect. Because that's what it felt like with Adam Gase, for sure. Maybe even Rex, too, to an extent, at the end with the Jets before he went up to Buffalo. I think Stefanski, this was an odd season for them because it's almost like they were handcuffing him. At least one hand behind your back.
Well, it's almost like he didn't want to play Shedeur Sanders and someone was telling him to play Shedeur Sanders. That's how it felt.
And the other quarterback option was Dylan Gabriel,
right?
Who's my height. Right. You know what I mean? And then forget the other quarterback situation with Deshaun Watson, which is, I mean, it's an albatross. It just sits on their books forever. It was really hard for him to be successful this year. So I don't know if it's necessarily beneficial for him to take a year off because I don't think he did much wrong.
Let's go to Philip in Brooklyn. What's up, Philip?
Hey, Evan, Tiki, thanks for taking my call.
What's up?
I'm a frustrated Giants fan. I mean, Tiki, like you said earlier, I was hoping with the enthusiasm that was in the preseason with Jackson Dart, I was hoping, they would ride that wave. I mean, and now coming down to the end of the season, to me, wins and losses, like at the end of the season, matter. For instance, when the Giants played the Patriots in that final game of the season, that showed me that this team can compete with them. And the Giants themselves, in my opinion,
You're talking about
the same way.
You're talking about the Patriots, Philip, right?
Exactly.
Right.
That win yesterday, the Cowboys are like, one hand tied behind their back.
Right.
They're not trying to win that game.
Nope.
They're your division rival. And you can't tell me that they don't know that if you win or you lose, you get a better draft position.
No, it's
Granted,
true. It's true.
First round picks, you got to pay them a lot of money compared to second and third round picks. But the fact that you can at least possibly get extra picks, because look, guys were playing for their jobs. I get it, but they're celebrating. Of course, guys are going to celebrate. But what did it prove? And what was gained?
The one thing, you know what I think could be gained? And you can tell me if I'm wrong about this. This is where I will swerve from the Giant fan who wanted to lose so badly. You don't think yesterday benefited Jackson Dart? The guy's still learning to play in the NFL.
It most certainly did. There's no doubt about that.
So that to me, when you say, what is there to benefit? Look, Bobby Okereke making a play, I don't know if there's any benefit. I thought of Sean, though, because I remember when we were making our predictions on Friday, I was adamant the Giants were going to win. The one game I got right, so I certainly ain't bragging. And Sean's counter is, you think Bobby Okereke's really going to care? Well, he did when he made that play. He cared on that one.
He did.
So I think the one benefit I could see from that win is the experience that Jackson Dart got.
I don't think that if the Cowboys had won, by the way.
Yes.
It significantly changed. I don't think it changed their draft position at all.
Winning or losing?
Right, because if they're 8-9, they have a lower strength of schedule than everybody that was 8-9.
Right. They were 7-8-1, though. The tie throws everything off.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, I think Tiki is, though, right. If they had won that game, their strength of schedule tiebreaker would still have kept them in that spot. Well, they did lose the game. Let me take that back. If they won the game, their pick wouldn't have changed. So he's right. But I don't think you necessarily know that while the game is occurring. So even if it wasn't right in front of you in terms of you get this
because
pick or that pick,
those other teams hadn't played yet.
Correct.
Okay, this Fan Focus is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. Joe Shane is meeting the media. We have a couple clips from Joe. Let's listen.
Good afternoon, everybody. Start off by saying I'm honored and humbled that John Mayer and Steve Tisch would allow me to see this process.
Now, hold on one second. We're going to hear from Joe Shane in a second. I think Sean's having some technical issues, but Joe is meeting the media right now for the first time since this season is over. If you're just tuning in, Joe Shane was brought back. It was made official a few hours ago that John Mara and the families have decided that Joe Shane will return for his final year as general manager of the New York Giants, because I think he has 1 year left on his contract. With that said, have I vamped enough for you, Sean, to play these clips of Joe Shane?
All right, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm hitting play. This pod is up. If it don't play, it ain't on me. Something's wrong. So here we go.
All right, here we go.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, Tiki doesn't
start off by saying,
I apologize. I hear it. Like
I
it's
hear it in
being-
my ear, but it's like you're talking back to me instead of.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I don't
It's
know
on cue.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's played on the air. Can you ask someone if that went through on the air? Because if it went through on the air, we could just play it.
Okay.
But
No,
I'm not
I don't
sure.
think I don't think it did because
All right.
it didn't come through the studio.
It only took 3 hours and 45 minutes for Sean to hit his first roadblock, which may have been the most important one. You know, hearing from Joe Shane for the first time.
Right.
But it's all right. With that said,
Did you listen to it? Just tell us what he said.
you want me to read it for you?
Yeah.
Joe Shane says he is honored and humbled that Giant ownership is allowing him to remain as GM and to select the next head coach of the team.
That's good, but that's nothing.
To our fans, I understand that the wins haven't been to what our expectation is. I'm fortunate enough to be tasked with getting the franchise back to where it belongs. And he refrained from getting into his specific contract situation. So far, that's what Joe Shane has said.
Right.
Even if it's not with us, you will get to hear from Joe Shane, and you'll learn more about what he had to say today as the day rolls on. Obviously, Craig making his debut with Big Mac in about 15 minutes. So I'm sure at some point we will hear from Joe Shane. Hey, you all right there, Sean?
criteria for the next head coach. I mean,
I still don't hear it. I don't know if we can hear it or not. We may. I just don't know for sure. I don't want there to be dead air for the audience. All right, well, thank
Forget
you,
it.
Sean.
I quit. I don't know.
Here's the good news. I read the quotes to the people, and it's really not on you. I put it on someone in the newsroom to say, no, it's no big deal. We hear it. Or someone in the newsroom to say, we didn't hear it.
There's
Good, don't play.
no one in the newsroom.
And if no one is stepping up to help you, then I exonerate you. Then it's just on, the newsroom.
I need a cigarette. I never had one in my life.
I will take a couple of your phone calls. Anything more from Joe Shane, I will certainly repeat what he said to you. Let's go to Chris and Merrick. What's up, Chris?
Gentlemen, I was one of those fans who said if the Giants lose one of the next 2 weeks, maybe they could get a draft pick. Well, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all be fat and happy. It didn't happen. The reality is the Giants won the last 2 games of the season with their franchise quarterback, who is in his first year. They have a number 5 pick in the draft, and they're keeping Shane. Listen, we can knock Shane all we want. He's coming back, and if you're objective about it, he's improved over the course of each and every draft he's participated in.
Right, the way his drafting has improved. You're right about that.
By the way, you're right about that, and I've got good news. I was finally notified that we can hear the Joe Shane clips.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Now you can play him, Sean. We've been cleared. Go
honored
ahead.
and humbled that John Mayer and Steve Tisch would allow me to see this process through. Good afternoon to our fans. I understand, the wins haven't been, what the expectation is. And, I'm fortunate enough to be tasked with getting the organization and the franchise back where it belongs. And that's the goal as we move forward.
Oh, there you go.
Everybody.
That was Joe Shane. Now repeating what he said. Look, he's honored for the task at hand. I think what Joe doesn't or realizes, but is going to be pressed on, is that while you're honored to have that task, many Giant fans are, let me clean it up, pissed off by the fact that you have that opportunity. They don't like it. Anyhow, here's
criteria
more.
for the next head coach. I mean, there's several criteria that we're going to look for. Leadership being an important element, in the head coaching, world. Football acumen will be important. Player development is very important. Having a plan for player development. We have a young quarterback. It's going to be important that there's a plan in terms of Jackson's development, holding people accountable, communication. There's a lot that goes into the head coach that can fall under that leadership element. But those are some of the characteristics that we're going to be looking for in the next head coach.
Do you want somebody with head coaching experience?
We're going to cast a wide net, and there's no directive that it has to be an offensive guy or defensive guy or special teams or college or whatever it may be. Having head coaching experience previously, we are going to try to find, or we are going to find, the best leader for the franchise.
Jackson in the future, Jack, what's your sort of impression from the outside when you're going through this process? How do you think it's going to be a benefit to have him?
Absolutely. Jordan, from the people I've talked to, the consensus, there are a lot of potential head coaching candidates that are excited about the opportunity here because of Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that. And I think it's what we talked about earlier, that Dart being here does make this job a lot more appealing. As dysfunctional in terms of the results as the Giants have been and the crazy amount of coaches they've been through since Tom Coughlin was axed a decade ago, they have a few appealing things. They have a decent roster, and they certainly have a good young quarterback. One of Joe Shane's answers had me thinking. And I'm a big Mike McCarthy guy. Like, I like Mike McCarthy. I do not think that would be a bad hire. Right. But he talked about the different aspects of being a head coach, including holding players accountable. And what makes me nervous about what went wrong with Brian Daboll, and you referred to this earlier, is that maybe he wasn't holding players accountable.
Well, he definitely wasn't.
Yeah, we heard that with Abdul Carter.
That's a fact.
So I kind of lean towards it is really important to have that next head coach be someone who's going to be tough on his guys.
Yeah. And can you be that if you've never done it?
Well, can you be? Yeah, because Mike McCarthy's not that kind of guy.
Well, he's not that kind of guy, but I'm talking about a young head coach who's never done it before.
Right.
Now, how do you know? For instance, this is not going to happen because of the lawsuit. We already talked about it. But if Brian Flores came in here and talked about accountability, you believe it, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
If Clint Kubiak, for instance, offensive coordinator out in Seattle, if he comes in here, are you going to believe it? If you don't tighten it up, I'm going to pinch you. Like, you going to believe that? You almost need to have somebody who has done it and has a reputation of doing it.
They need a guy with experience.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be more adamant about it. Now, does that mean if they hire someone without experience, it's definitely going to be a disaster? Obviously not. I mean, look at Mike McDonald in Seattle. Look at D'Amico Ryans before he took the Texan job. There are plenty of examples where that first-time head coach works. It doesn't always have to be, Aaron Glenn or Brian Daboll.
But also, you don't get caught just on the accountability side of it. That's important, and it showed its head here with us because of the Abdul Carter stuff. But there is so much more that goes into being a head coach. And to me, the biggest thing is hiring a staff. You got to have a good staff. Because if you don't, you end up micromanaging everything.
Yeah.
And then once you start doing that, your ego supersedes the guys you're delegating it to, his ego, and all of a sudden you're butting heads, and it becomes an untenable situation. So there's so much. I think experience matters a lot.
I agree. To me, that's going to be really important. Joe continues to talk. You'll hear about it as the day rolls on. Craig and Big Mac making their debut in a few short minutes. But I have a very important PSA that I need to stress. I am very consistent about this, and I think it's very important for me to say this before the day ends. And tonight's a big night. The New York Knicks are playing the Detroit Pistons, and the Knicks have lost a few games in a row, and they are struggling. And the Pistons are the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, and even though I called them a cute little team a couple of weeks ago, I have great respect for what the Pistons are accomplishing. They are off to a great start, and they're dealing with some injuries right now.
Yep.
Jalen Duren isn't going to play. He's been out for a couple of weeks. Tobias Harris is banged up. Totally get it. I want to reinforce to the Knicks fans out there that win or lose, it's a regular season game that will have no bearing on what happens in April or May.
Right.
I say that because I said it last year to you losers when the Celtics were beating your ass and it took the Net fan to say, guys, don't worry, this doesn't mean anything. It all matters when you play them again.
But Evan, we just lost to the Hawks.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, thank you.
Like, it matters in terms of I sit down and consume NBA games. I want to win. I totally get being frustrated by their lack of defense. I get being frustrated by the sloppiness. I get being frustrated. But I do want to remind everybody before the Knicks play their biggest regular season game of the season thus far, that at the end of the day, it's the biggest game of the regular season thus far. But it don't mean anything.
It's the biggest game of the regular season because it's the regular season.
If you win by 20, it doesn't mean you're going to smoke the Pistons. If the Pistons beat you by 20, it doesn't mean they have your number. So let's all calm down, relax, and remember the game's on Peacock.
Wait, the regular season means nothing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
That's it. If you've missed any of the show, you can rewind it on the free Odyssey app. Our entire show is on YouTube, so you can also consume it there or download the Evan and Tiki podcast. Coming up in a few short minutes, Craig Carton Chris McMonagle. It is the Carton Show featuring Craig Carton and Chris McMonagle. That's coming up in a few minutes, and then we are back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Goodbye.
This is an